Let lots of locos run tonight and never stop with beeps. Jenny is here and she's delight, 'cause it's the Monday Club. I cannot sing, you might
you
have
can't.
seen.
You cannot sing
At all. But
when
it's
we
the
do
Monday
the
Club.
Monday
So let's
Club.
just get on with it.
Are we actually on?
Yes.
We can't sing.
We can't sing at
No, we
all.
cannot. So a big hello to you all. Hi guys, how are you doing? It's great to see you for the final Monday Club of the year. We're finally seeing the 22. Oh, you just interrupted my flow.
I know I did.
My flow. But we're finally seeing the back of 2020. Well, we will be in a few days' time. So it's really great to see you all. See, we've got quite a few people in. And also a big thank you to George Botterini, who very kindly actually bought tonight's pizza, which has just arrived. So thank you ever so much, George. That is absolutely generous of you. So thank you very much. I shall be raising a slice of our local pizza shop's finest in just a moment, apparently. So see, who have we got in? We've got Andrew Boone, Catherine Park Junction, John Holding, Flymo Chairman 1, Bang Got You Junction, Carl Braun, Mark Wilson, The Growl, The Blackwood Engage Layout, Simon Train's Model Railway Showcase, Cooper and District Model Railway Club, Southern Train Girl, Pete Clark, Chris Hales Heritage Railway, Leslie Gilpin, Keith Pointer, Richard Swiderski, Ham Shackleton, Henry's Transport Adventures and Beyond, Peter Leyland, Pudham Junction, Josh's Train Room, Philip Page, Natalie Stevens, James Petts, Clive Cobold, Broughton MCR Model Railway, Patrick Ling, Not Lobia Model World, a big hello to you, Les, as well, John Nutman, Ruben Ashwell, J94, see who else, any other names that I haven't read out already. It's My Model Railway, Alex Faxton, hi to you as well, Ben Davis, John Nutman, Matt Ovell, Peter Reed, Wham Gok. It's great to see you all in. Just see who. Oh gosh, I'm already well behind in the comments. Mark Wilson, Teddy Edward, hi to you. Ron B. It's great to see you all in, and I hope you find. I hope you find you well.
Oh my goodness.
My life's tracked, and oh my gosh, already Tim Condrup has very kindly given £4.99 on the super chat. So thank you very much for each Monday Club live stream this year. You're absolutely welcome. It's always a great honour that actually you guys choose to hang out up here. Up here in the loft. Actually, it get very crowded if you're all in the loft. What are you having, Cupboard Monkey?
If you want to eat my mushrooms.
I hate mushrooms. They're like the devil's feet. Ugh. Oh, smelly mushrooms. But look, it's great to see you all. I hope you find you all well. And what have we got for you, actually? There's not really a lot of news at the moment. Everything kind of goes quiet over the Christmas period. I know a lot of the manufacturers pretty much shut down. A lot of the shops as well.
Can't blame them.
Yeah, so I think tomorrow is where things start to open up briefly. I think you get a couple of days shopping in before everything shuts down again for New Year. Of course, New Year's Day is on Friday, so New Year's Eve is I'll show you.
New Year's Eve is ooh.
Yeah, New Year's Eve is instantly forgotten. Gotta be very careful not to splatter pizza on my front. So there we are. I can't actually see anything on the monitor because Zoe hasn't turned it over to the camera angles. But there we go. There's today's pizza. I'm going to put that down there. Oh, thank you. I'll have yours as well then, shall I?
Keith Boynton says there's no mushroom in there. No, that's because that's Jenny's pizza.
Did you actually order shrooms on the vegetarian?
Yeah. Well, if you're having meat, I'm going to have mushroom.
Leslie Gilpin reminds us, of course, no non-essential shopping in Wales. So basically it's mail order for a lot of places, which do remember to support your local model shop if you can. A lot of them will be...
What's essential shopping? I think going for a new train is essential.
Yes, you heard it here first. She said it's essential. I'm allowed to do it. So
hang on.
Let's just go to the monkey cam.
I hadn't realised the error of my ways. I
Yeah.
hadn't realised. Guys, help me! She's gonna buy trains.
You're asking the wrong people there because they're going to go, so what? Let her. Right, okay. There's only so much monkey we can stomach.
There's only so much overacting.
Yes. I'm sorry, did somebody order an enormous ham? Ham on my pizza. Actually, doesn't that guy's hat look a bit rude when you look at it upside down? Is there a problem?
Give me a second. I've just got to remove an idiot.
Oh,
Someone decided that it was a really smart idea to try and be transphobic, so...
Really?
You can go.
Right, anyway, it's not big and it's not clever.
That's it.
Right, a big hello.
Let me just say my piece. Guys, we're all friends here. We're all having a great time.
Yeah.
So let's just leave that aside because you won't convince anyone.
Yeah, and the other thing as well, we won't have any other kind of ism or phobia in here either.
Yeah.
You know, this is a safe space for everybody, regardless. So
it's not so much about being safe; it's just about being polite.
Well,
This is a place where everyone is welcome.
Yeah. Right, anyway. You've derailed my thoughts, and yes, I did use that word on purpose.
I do that on purpose.
Yeah, so what have we got running today?
On porpoise.
Porpoise.
Doobidy-doo-das.
Oh, thank you. What are you having?
I'm having mushrooms.
Right, today, what have we got going round? Well, you'll see a massive long train of intercity coaches, which has grown by 2 over Christmas, actually, because Hornby brought out, very, very belatedly, the RBR and the RB catering cars, the buffet restaurant as they are in Intercity, and I got one of each. And what I'm still trying to ponder is there a bit of a weird release as it stands for Hornby, because as far as I'm aware, and do correct me if I'm wrong, because I really like Intercity executive liveried Mark 1s, and if they have brought out some, I'd love to have bought them. But as far as I'm aware, I think these are the first 2 occasions that they've brought out a coach in that Intercity executive livery. And with nothing else in the range, it's like, well, hold on. They've brought out not 1, but 2. Which says to me that, here's my top prediction, that, what are you giving me a fork for? What do I want a fork
for? Your chips.
Oh, right, okay. In the 2021 announcements, I'm staking my prediction on a set of Mark 1s in the Intercity executive livery to go with those not 1 but 2 Intercity liveried catering cars.
It always makes me confused when you say Mark 1s, because I'm thinking, does that mean that the really early ones that went with the rocket? But it's not, is it? It's just not the first version of something.
Oh, yeah, James Petts.
I apologise for the sound of my nose.
Yeah, James Petts very predictably does approve of Intercity livery.
Someone's noticed the TARDIS.
Yeah, Ron B says, do you have something purple running? No, I still haven't bought one. I'm afraid that I spent my Christmas money on a sound-fitted N7 in VR Early Crest Black. It's actually from Rails of Sheffield. I couldn't believe how cheap a sound-fitted Steam Loco was. And I think the Oxford Rail sound installation, the chip that they use, is actually a reasonably good one, as far as I can tell. So for £169, basically they're giving you a locomotive for 20 quid and a sound chip. J94's wanting a turbo motive, and Mark Wilson says, do you find that the Hornby buffet coaches are really dark blue? Now, I don't have the blue-grey one. I just went for both of the Intercity ones, and they do, wherever it's disappeared to, oh, there it is. They do actually blend in quite well with the Bachmann ones, but I have heard that the shade of blue...
Which camera did you think you'd pressed?
That one. But, yeah, because it's going to come onto screen in a moment. But I have heard that the shade of blue doesn't seem to match the same shade that Bachmann have done. But Bachmann have formed for changing their shades as well, because the Southern Region green ones, the first release of those, actually came out in quite a pale green compared with the really dark green. I think it's...
Oh my goodness.
What?
57305 Northern Princess says he was attacked while train spotting at Rugeley Trent Valley. I'm so sorry. I hope the person got caught.
I'm very sorry to hear that.
Oh my goodness.
I hope I hope you got through that okay, and that things are getting sorted.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, unfortunately, in this world,
we've got a lot of around.
We've got a lot of. I'm trying to think of a non-cuss word. You know what I'm thinking?
Horrible people.
Yeah. So really sorry you've gone through that, but I hope hope you're okay.
Oh my goodness.
Let's have a look here. Oh. Who's that?
I've got to take this call. It might be about my friend Paul, remember?
Okay, no worries. So the Cupboard Monkey's just going to take a call. She's going to disappear off. But other predictions for 2021, actually, I have to say. I was telling you guys what we had going around. Right, the Intercity Rake behind the Somerset Andy Class 47. We've got a Bachmann Class 40. It is actually sound fitted. If I can, that's the 47. That's the Class 40. But we've got the all-new Bachmann Class 40 going round with the yellow with black chevroned breakdown coaches. We've got the National Railway Museum Midland just coming into shot there at the moment. The Midland compound with Pullmans. Somebody did ask last week for Pullmans, so I have obliged. I've dug them out of storage. They're actually somewhere deep dark underneath in the fiddle yard. And then we've got the Bachmann 24-1 as 24-137 with headcode boxes, bringing up the innermost track. But yeah, really interested to see what predictions you guys might actually have for the Hornby 2021 release. My big prediction is those Intercity Executive liveried range of Mark 1s. Because whilst the Mark 1s, and you'll see, like, spoiler alert, there is a review coming up on those restaurant buffet coaches, has already been filmed. There's a couple of areas where they're not quite as good as the Bachmann models, but they are cheaper, and, you know, price smooths over a lot of things. I like that Vobert Becking. Miss Monkey Penny. Manthony 1956 says, so is Zoe 009. 009. I like how you guys are thinking. Right. What have we got going on here? Russell Benton says, I think Cupboard Monkey is M. Ham Shackleton, M as in like M and Q from 007. Right, Darren Mould, hi to you. And I think it might have been, was it you who, excuse me, who asked for, somebody asked for the Pullmans. I'm trying to remember her name. But Natalie Stevens, great to see you in as well. I'm doing grand, thank you. I hope you are doing okay as well. Patrick Furlong says they need to do some models based on trains, layouts and buildings from Back to the Future 3. Didn't somebody build something along those lines for in the first series of Great Model Railway Challenge? I'm sure I saw a DeLorean on the rails. These chips are really good, but they've literally just arrived just as we went on air. Keith Boynton says, I got a snowplow out in the garden layout today. We haven't had any snow whatsoever here. When I woke up this morning, I thought I'd just have a quick scroll through social media, as I do. And there's loads of people posting photographs of like, oh, look, snow, isn't it pretty? And they were from as far away as like places in the northeast. A friend of mine that lives in Bewdley. And it was like, wow, that looks really nice. All across the Midlands. And I thought, it's going to be a wonderful snowy day. No, it isn't. Looked out the window. It's just wet rain. Not a trace of snow. Lee Holden says, I think Hornby are going to release a new updated Super Detailed 8F. Actually, that's... I've heard a few people mentioning that. Now, every year... somebody who is in the know somehow, somebody who somehow is in the know breaks an embargo on Hornby. Last year, I think somebody went and spoilt the release for the APT. So I do wonder if this year, if there is somebody who has mentioned somewhere who is in the know about the 8F. But I have heard that from a few different avenues. I am so hungry. Not good. Skipsy Train says, Christmas present update. Skipsy appears in the latest edition of Model Rail magazine. Page 16, show and tell. Boom! Funnily enough, there is some news that I can tell you, I guess. They've not told me not to. But there's a professional photographer photographing Weir Yard for an upcoming article in Railway Modeller, hopefully sometime. I don't know which issue it's coming out in, but the photos are being taken tomorrow.
You've got an upcoming icicle.
Yeah, so is everything okay?
Well, no, because
yeah, I know.
One of my friends isn't here anymore, but we'll get by.
Sadly, one of Zoe's former work colleagues and good friend passed away over the Christmas period, so I'm guessing that's details for the funeral?
There can't be one.
Oh, yeah.
Family will get to go, but the rest of us are going to say goodbye now, aren't we?
That's a shame.
Yeah.
James Pett says, Weir Yard in Railway Modeller, congratulations. Thank you very much. It's been over a year in the making. Railway Modeller, I submitted the article to Steve Flint before Christmas last year, and it's just taken, with COVID and everything, it's slowed everything up. We've finally arranged the photographer.
What do you need a photographer for? Get some cave paintings.
Keith Pointer says it's coming down hard. So it's snowing hard wherever Keith is. Ben Tellett says, I sent Hornby a load of recommendations last month, and they have read them and hopefully might include them in the near future. Do bear in mind, though, that I think Hornby has a 2 to 3 year gestation period where they do the research. A lot of work goes on behind the scenes.
I had a good joke then, I choked.
Oh, dear.
That's longer than elephants.
What?
A 2 to 3 year gestation period.
Okay. Very highbrow there. Right. But yeah, so, but well done to Skipsy Junction. I think it was Skipsy Junction. I've lost my place, actually, here. Wicked Insanity, howdy to you. Henry's Transport Adventures and Beyond says, I'm good. I filmed some videos today of trains and buses. But yeah, Skipsy Trains, congratulations. That's actually a long, long time ago now. Probably about 15 year ago. I first got my models published in Show and Tell in Model Rail. One of my very early layouts, I sent them some pictures and a bit of text, and it got published there. And then a year or so later, my new layout, I sold them an article, and that was the first Model Rail related article that I actually sold to a magazine. So really, really remember with very much fondness appearing in Show and Tell. It's a great starting point. Apparently it's snowing in West Orton.
Tell them to keep it there.
I like snow.
I don't. It's cold and it's soggy and it gets everywhere.
Big hello to Aiden's Railways. We've also got Canadian Rail Fan as well. Let's have a look. J94 says, no snow my end, it's just wet and freezing and dull. That's what we've got as well. You've got our weather. David Scott says, no snow in West Auckland. Eric Saint, well, here in Liège, which is on the outskirts of the Ardennes, we haven't got any snow too, yet it's getting colder. It's around 2 Celsius this morning. Well, that is firmly in the realms of the possibility of snow. But I've noticed actually around here, when it gets really cold, we just get clear skies and everything goes icy. But then when we get a lot of wet weather, it goes just above freezing and we just get really cold rain.
So, in the standard British method of working these things out, does snow count as a bit chilly or a little bit on the cool side?
I don't know. I didn't know of this measurement of coldness.
Well, you have to realise that in Britain we downplay everything, don't we? So it's a tad chilly out there, you know.
Do we?
Yes.
Oh right, apparently we do.
When there's a flood, it's there's a spot of rain. Oh, thank you so much, Tim Condrop.
Oh, that is.
Everyone's been so generous.
Oh wow! Just quickly read out. King Fox Junction asks, "Do I still have my garden railway?" Yes, I do. It's not run in a while. I'm just going to quickly get up to date because Tim Condrup has given us very generously £1.99. Says, hope Hornby make Transpennine First Western. I think TFW Transpennine First Western. I think I could be wrong on that. Class 175. I know the Class 175 does get a lot of requests for it. In terms of, let's just change the camera angle because we've had it on that angle for quite some time.
James Petts has correctly translated that snow equates in British parlance to it's a tad nippy. Also, thank you to everyone who sent condolences. It really is appreciated. Thank you so much. Mantony 1956 says, on a more positive note, there's an opening game on the 13th of January, St. Louis Blues versus Colorado. So excellent.
How do you actually watch that? Being a limey and all that.
Well, to be honest with you, I don't get to see them live unless I subscribe to the NHL streaming service, which I'm not going to do for a few games a year. It's just not how it works. But I do get to see the highlights on YouTube.
Oh, right. So they do put out the highlights.
Yes. I would love to subscribe to the NHL thing, but given the amount of time I work and the amount of time that you work, I wouldn't have the time to actually make use of it.
Can you not watch the full matches afterwards? A bit like how on YouTube, once it's streamed, it turns into a regular...
No, they only put the highlights on YouTube. The NHL streaming system is its own
so it's
subscription thing,
live or not at all?
No, it's like Disney Plus. It would be the whole thing would be on their streaming service.
See, there's far too many of these streaming services. I mean, how much money do they think we've got to spread around? And I think,
well, to be honest with you, they're not expecting you to subscribe to all of them.
No, but it must mean that money is spread quite thinly.
Can you imagine a streaming service for model trains? Hello and welcome to the Hornby channel.
We get that for free on YouTube.
Yeah.
Stephen Deacon says TFW Transport for Wales. Yeah, and Mark Holt says that as well. Brilliant. It shows how little I know.
And you lived there, how do you not know?
Yeah, never when. Big hello to Cottesmore as well. Edward C. Tucker, Poshington 01. Who says, I'm hoping it snows because the Garden Railway looks great in the snow with trains running. Actually, you're absolutely right. I did one year manage to snap. It was actually the first year that my O-gauge garden layout went down, and I got some really good photos in the snow.
Oh my goodness. My Life's Track says, I love hockey. I have an NHL train set by Mantua.
Oh, right.
I didn't even know there was an NHL train set.
I think there are a lot of theme tie-in stuff
That would be
in the
amazing
US.
to see. That would be amazing. I would love to see that. Canadian Rain Fan says, would Jenny be streaming for Hornby 2021?
Yes, we will be looking to do a live stream as the announcements are made on Tuesday the 5th of January. I will try and find what time it actually goes live, as it were. And we will be streaming from then. So we'll obviously have some more information on that at next Monday's Monday Club.
Oh my goodness. This is going to start a fight. Henry's Transport Adventures and Beyond says, who's your favourite YouTuber, Jenny?
Mine?
Yeah.
Favourite YouTuber? It's actually not a train channel. I really like Tyler Hoover, who does Hoovy's Garage. I just find him, he's got this inept, bumbling personality where you can't help but just love him. And it's a car channel.
You mean your favourite YouTuber's not me?
Oh, well, yeah, obviously joint with you.
Joint with me. Thank you very much. Oh, Mantua is no longer in business, apparently. It's going to take me ages to try and track one of them down, isn't it?
57305 Northern Princess says, Hornby announcements from 10 a.m. So you heard it here first, 10 a.m. And we'll probably start the stream about half an hour beforehand to give people a chance to join on in.
Oh, I've got a lovely message here. Thank you so much, Stephen Cameron. He says, glad I found your stand-up routine videos, Zoe. The Trump thing had me in stitches. That does seem to have been everyone's favourite from my show. You're very welcome. Thank you very much, Stephen Cameron.
Natalie Stevens says bye. It's been great having you along, don't forget as well. that you can catch up on anything that you miss later on. Once the stream's finished, it goes up on YouTube as a full video. But it's been great having your company. You take care, and we'll catch you later.
Are we finishing?
Patrick Furlong. No. Somebody's leaving. Patrick Furlong says Zoe is my favourite YouTuber.
Thank you so much, Sir Patrick Furlong.
Leicester Station and TMD. Hi to you. And Eric Saint says, indeed, trains in snow are nice. Used to go train spotting in winter in the Ardennes a few years back. Not possible anymore, so I'm barely able to walk now due to a back injury. Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that. I hope that gets better. But certainly Garden Railway is great fun in snow. There actually exists a video footage of when I had a 00 gauge garden layout and actually got them to go around in some fairly deep snow, and what you'll find actually is that you need the right type of snow for that. And then they disappear like a ferret up a northerner's trouser leg through this snowbank.
Is that we're getting very close to the wrong kind of snow and leaves on the line here. Everyone, Dazza1977, thank you very much for the reminder. Please everyone press the like button.
Yeah.
I hadn't.
Don't forget to like the stream, share it as well on social media. So sharing is caring. And if you haven't already done so, do consider subscribing to the channel. Now, what are the predictions? I normally play safe on predictions. I don't try and predict brand new models, generally speaking.
I have a prediction. Hornby will bring out their version of the Lucky Bag or Loot Box.
What?
And there will be a box of random assorted gronks.
Not Gromps, but they already do that with slow sellers. It's called the was it the Family Model Rail Pack or something like that?
The mystery box.
Oh, it's good. Cheesy garlic bread. Get it whilst it's hot.
Garlic cheesy bread. Oof. Oh my goodness, I've had 4 people dislike my best of 2020 stand-up comedy video. Someone didn't like my Trump references.
You think? Right. Do you want to talk to the nice people?
Yes, I'm just looking at people were asking where my video was, so I'm just going to link it. My stand-up comedy routine. And bling, boink. So, we've got... oh my goodness. Eric Saint says he was diagnosed with vertebral disc degenerative illness. But he still has his railway modelling hobby and all the channels to watch, so at least there's a silver lining. But I'm so sorry. That can't be good in any way. So I'm really sorry about that.
Sorry to hear that.
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
Patrick Furlong says, Jenny, if you could, would you buy a real train carriage for the garden?
Don't give her ideas.
Yes, if the garden was big enough, certainly. I'd be there like a shot. And in fact, actually, my garden shed would probably be something like a redundant VDA van or something. But I'd want to keep the wheels on it and have track underneath. And then it's like, and I'd want track, and I'd want a locomotive, and I just want a real railway to play with.
Oh my goodness, we've got an interesting one here. Matt Ovell asks, to anyone who might know, could old steam or diesel trains cope with snow better than modern electrics, which seem to stop at anything?
Not better, just different. I think what you'd find is, I mean, have you ever seen, is it Snowdrift at Blees Gill, something like that? It's actually on the old Stainmore route. And it's the locomotive that gets stuck in a massive snowdrift in one of the worst winters that ever befell the UK in historical, well, not in historical, but in also at the point in time when they got film and photos of it. Even having a big fire in a locomotive, it doesn't stop you getting it stuck.
There is one thing though. A lot of modern stuff can't go because of wrong leaves on the line and things like that, which the older trains didn't, because wasn't there something that came off them that killed the trees and plants near the side of the tracks, which meant that they couldn't be dropping leaves onto it.
Yeah, it was called weed killer that's not allowed to be used anymore because it basically nukes the local area. That was the problem.
There you go.
So I don't think that steam locomotives would have coped better with leaves on the line. It's just they didn't get the leaves on the line because the line sides were kept so much clearer of vegetation.
Eric Saint says the main problem may be the way electronics react to the cold. That's a good point.
I've heard that the snow can get sort of packed into the traction motors and cause issues when it does that.
Good thing. Oh, there's a good question. Where's Garfield?
I don't know.
Now, I know he was a bit ill last time, but I hope he's okay.
Yeah, because nobody spotted the TARDIS yet. I just suddenly realised we haven't moved the TARDIS yet.
No, someone spotted it.
Oh, did they?
Yeah.
I don't know, actually. I must ask after him, actually, see how he's doing, because I know he was unwell. He went into hospital last week. So, yeah, we will check out on that.
So, Canadian Mailfan has some interesting predictions.
Oh, tell me more.
Sensible predictions 2021 are a totally retooled 8F
Ching.
and maybe an S160 and
Ching.
maybe some pre-grouping and maybe a Q class.
Yeah,
There seems to be mentioned in this S160. What is it?
It was it's an American locomotive, I believe, brought over during the Second World War. Didn't really run on British rail per se, but certainly lots of colourful liveries. Longmore Military Railway had one. Got out and about. There are some preserved examples. I know there's one at the Keighley and Worth Valley Railway. I could see an S160 actually. It's one of those ones which, if you pushed me to name a brand new model, an all new model, that would be high on my list. The Q class as well, that does get frequently asked for. I was trying to think, we've had, I'm trying to think what all new locomotives did we have last year apart from the Rocket? The 2MT we're still waiting on. But I think the Hornby 00 range might get a look in as well, which would tie in nicely to an all-new retooled 8F. And there are 4 different versions of that 8F that could come out in the stripy boxes of Hornby 00.
So I've got here a question while you take a drink because it sounded like you needed one.
I was going to stuff
Mark
my face.
Wilson says apparently Garthian is on Skaro fighting the Daleks.
Could be.
And Blue Star Ted says, where do you keep this railway in your house? A whole room? Yes, this is the loft. It's the entire loft. Jenny wouldn't let me have any of it.
Well, we went 10 years nearly without you even bothering to
I
come up.
forgot it was here.
But I couldn't believe a house that was built in 1927. They'd never used this space for anything. So I did.
Thank you so much, Canadian Mail fan, who says, Zoe, I watched your Trump bit on your channel. It was brilliant. Thank you very much. I'm hoping it goes down well once I manage to get to an open mic night in Manchester.
Russell Benton says, I'd go 8F, but only trouble is cover seems to suggest a 9F. Would they bring them both out at the same time? I think a 9F is a risky venture, because there's already a decent model made by Bachmann. And I think that I have a feeling that Bachmann has one announced as coming out at some point fairly soon. So I would say that commercially a 9F is probably not a great move, even though they have the chassis from the Crosty-Boilered 9F. And it's quite telling that they chose to go down the Crosty-Boilered 9F route initially rather than going for the more well-known version. The 8F is in need of a retool. It's a great locomotive. It was a very numerous locomotive. And there's a lot of scope for some interesting liveries. In preservation, it was painted in LMS Crimson, which looks amazing. Graham Farish did actually bring out a model in that livery. Are you all right?
I'm just looking at these. Are they the Pullmans that go around?
Yes.
They're really pretty.
Yes, they
I
are.
love the design on that. The older, the Art Deco, the interbellum period, it had some amazing designs.
Yeah, I mean, they're sort of like, I think they're 1920s. Those particular coaches date back to, not the observation car on the back.
That's interbellum.
I'll take your word for it.
Interbellum.
My
between
word.
wars. Oh, thank
Michelle
you so much.
Patterson has incredibly generously donated $24.99 on the super chat. Thank you ever so much. That is very much appreciated. You're amazingly generous, all of you are. But thank you ever so much. What else have we got in the... Clive Cobalt says, Jenny, a class 155 DMU would be great. There's a lot of these sort of second generation DMUs which are lacking from a lot of ranges, and yet we still, even up until comparatively recently, saw a lot of these in everyday use. The only thing is, I think for me, something like the 158, the 158 is due a retool. There's the Bachmann one, although did they retool it? The little a voice in the back of my head, which normally only pipes up after I filmed a video, is saying, didn't they actually retool that? But certainly, a 155, I would have said actually, excuse me, a 156 might be more likely, but I don't know. Hornby have dabbled with multiple units before now and have generally got burned. They've done the class 401, the 402 and the 403, which is the Brighton Pullman, and they've also done the class 423, the 4VET, which hasn't actually ever reappeared in their catalogue since. They are changing hands at a premium, but certainly not at a level that a forecast set what you would expect to come out new at. So what I think we might see is perhaps some of the older models, well, not older, but the high fidelity models that haven't been in the range for a few years might be making a comeback. I'd like to see the class 423 4VET. I think that would be nice, but I think that a lot of people are going to balk at the price that it would have to come out at. The 8F, as I was saying before, we got the LMS Crimson livery that it could come out in, that Graham Farish has done in the past. Also, there's a lot of overseas liveries. I could see a Turkish-themed 8F with some embellishments and the livery of the Turkish State Railways. And they did actually get as far afield as China. There were Stanier 8Fs that ran in China. And certainly around the globe, they really did get around there because they were sold off as war surplus.
So, Cottesmore has a question, and I'm surprised he doesn't know the answer since he's been here.
Yeah.
How big is this loft?
It's about 18 feet by, I'm going to say 18 feet by 20 feet. It sort of gets bigger and smaller every time I guess the actual size. But of course, because we're at the end of the row, the house is actually an end of terrace. So for those people from outside of the UK who might not be familiar with what a terraced house is, imagine somebody built a whole row of houses, but they stuck them together. So they just
glue.
Yeah. So basically, your sidewall is also somebody else's sidewall. There's no gap between them. But when you get to the end of the row, you have the end of row terrace. So that wall over there, there's no house on the other side of it. But because of the way the roof design is done, we've got the sloping roof those two ways, but we've also got a slope in the third direction, which does limit the size of the room actually quite considerably compared with what next door had. And I always look at that wall and think, really jealous. There's so much unused space on the other side of that wall.
You don't know. They could be. They could have a kids' playroom in there. You don't know. So
could be a fully functioning meth lab for all we know.
No, we'd smell it. So we've got another question. Because I mentioned that I like the look of the Pullmans.
Yes.
Richard Swiderski says, "Is Zoe getting into railways?" And I have to say no.
No, you are seeming to take more of an interest. You're certainly more enlightened than you used to be.
I know more about railways. It's not the same as liking them. So I appreciate art. I'm an artist at heart. So when I see a good design, I can say that's a good design. I like it. So it's just how it is. I like the look of certain things. I like the Gronk because it has an interesting set of sides. A lot of the locomotives, they're very flat panel on the sides, whereas the Gronk itself, it has bits on it, so it's quite nice. It's got a bit of art to it. Also, it looks a little bit like a spaceship when you look at it from the point of view of, if you ever see Star Wars, there are no flat spaces on those ships. There's bits and pieces everywhere. That's like the Gronk. It has bits all over it. It's utilitarian. It makes it feel more real to me. That's why I like that. That's just how it is.
So do you like the Class 3 as well?
It's got the similar style, so yeah, it's interesting. I don't like waste of space, essentially. The big flat areas that do nothing. I like a bit of utilitarianness to it.
So
or if you're going to have big areas where you just can't put something in, it's just going to be flat, a nice design on it, like those Pullmans.
But they've got a matchboard finish. So there's lots of, you can see the joins between the planks. They're kind of, I'm guessing, tongue and groove.
Richard says, you cannot fool us, so you just open on up to it.
A big thank you to Scale Model, who is very
so
generous,
much.
giving us €2.29. It says, best wishes from Germany to you. Thank you ever so much. That is incredibly generous and very much appreciated. So thank you ever so much. And I hope all is well out in Germany as well. And I hope that you got everything that you wanted over Christmas. And that's actually one of the themes for today, which I tend to meander a lot and go off on tangents. But one of the themes for today is festive hauls. And did you get exactly what you wanted? Or maybe you got universal gift tokens, aka cool hard cash, which lets you just like go off and buy whatever you want.
The irony being, of course, that these days cash is neither cool nor hard.
It's better than gift vouchers from some shops. You can imagine people who got given Debenhams gift vouchers just to find they went out of business. And actually, I was watching Tyler Hoover the other day, earlier today even, and he mentioned that there was a very old and quite well-known department store in America that had just recently filed for bankruptcy. So it doesn't just afflict us in the UK.
Mark Wilson says, Jenny, can you please ask Zoe not to mess with Star Wars? Her recent post was of Thomas the TIE Fighter, and it must not be repeated. And also, we've got another question here. Mantini1956 says, as an artist, Zoe, did you design Jenny's logos, book covers, mugs, and so forth?
Yes.
Yes. The logo I did in conjunction with Jen. She wanted a certain style, like a button, basically. So we put that together. The book covers, again, that was us in conjunction. Because, actually, the Bringing Home the Stars ones are quite interesting. Because most people don't recognise what that is. And it's looking through a small window out onto space. But the window is from an aircraft that I've tinted and rearranged a bit so that you can't quite tell. So it looks like it's looking through a window on a spaceship. Things like that. The mugs, the t-shirts, all that was just me drawing, basically. So I like to draw, and Jen likes to have stuff to put on t-shirts.
See, actually, when you said about the button, the JK logo, I suddenly thought, should we do badges? JK badges? Well, that would work.
If I can find somewhere that can make badges, yes, I will do that. Or just a kit to make badges, and then I'll get some things made.
I've seen the machines they use to make badges. They're quite a big, beefy press, so it's not an easy thing to make. But does Teespring not do them?
No, and they do the die-cast stickers. Like we've got the Gronk Up one. They do stuff like that.
When you see I've got my mouth full, talk to the nice people.
Yeah, but I ran out of things to say, so I'm just looking at the...
Read the comments.
Mantini1956 again says, Hoovy is quite a character, Jenny. Think of your layout if you had his money. Oh my god, don't give her ideas. She would change the entire house into a massive railway, and she would get it up and down stairs using a spiral.
No, we just have a bigger house. Like what he did. He bought a bigger house and had a custom garage built. But I mean, to be honest, if you've seen, actually, he's doing. I know we're completely going off tight here. I will get back onto target in a moment. Bear with me. But Tyler Hoover, along with Tavares and Ed Boland from VinWiki, are doing essentially what a lot of people have said that Top Gear USA should have been. I actually quite like Top Gear USA. I thought that those guys did a great job. But Car Trek is a really good stab at that kind of format.
You're going to love this. Mike and Sue at Pudham Junction says, it would be great if the Gronk hoodie could be a hooded zipper instead with the logo on the back. And that's true. If I could do that, I would, but it wasn't an option for the thing. But
we will
just
look into some of these things.
A leather jacket. And on the back is just a giant train. And it says, born to play trains.
Oh, my word. Yeah, I like that. We should look into some of these things. Right. Oh, Patrick Furlong. This is controversial. Zoe, would Jenny sell the game collection to fund trains?
Jenny wouldn't, because she knows that I would cry and then not help her make any more of her videos.
Also, you've got to remember that I like collecting things, and Zoe has very, very carefully and quite cleverly got me interested in the collecting side of collecting her PS2 games. In fact, you've got me so well trained that I've actually been out and foraged and found stuff all on my own. Like that time in West Auckland where I came out with a big plastic crate full of Wii goodies.
I still don't know who you pulled them off, because I'm sure they weren't in the shops when I looked.
No, it was...
Jen just turned up and she's got this carton of games. Like, look what I got.
I had like 200 quid's worth
Where
of
did you find
of
things,
stuff.
and who do I have to apologise
I
to?
went to a charity shop and they were, it was 20 quid for the lot. And it's like, I looked at what it was and immediately the back of my brain's going, there's about 200 quid's worth of gear there. It's like, ka-ching, thank you very much.
Ham Shackleton says he's sending us an email regarding badges. Excellent, thank you.
Thank you very much. We shall look
And
into
thank you so much for that poem that he sent for Christmas. I read it to Jen and she giggled.
I love that poem. That is so clever. I'm very impressed by it. Right. Keith Point says, sorry, Caps, it's B as not got me glasses on. Right, so you can see properly on the screen. That makes sense. No worries. Aiden's Railways question, Jenny. Do you think Hornby will expand on the Basset Loc range brand in 2021? I don't think there's going to be more in the steampunk range in 2021. As to whether they expand on the brand, I mean, it has been used in more recent memory for the tin plate O-gauge stuff. In fact, I was leafing through the back of an older copy of Railway Modeler, and there was an advert for the Basset Loc O-gauge tin plate stuff. So I don't know whether that's something that might come back. Certainly the Centenary Collection O-gauge trains, they have sold. And I do wonder whether that might have been a preliminary towards seeing whether a range of tin plate O-gauge might sell and be profitable, possibly under the Basset Loc brand. I don't know. I think in terms of locomotives, the S160, I think that is a good guess. A retooled 8F, possibly tying in with the Hornby 00 branding of the packaging. I could see that. That would be a good move. Some people have talked about retooling the A4 to go into the Hornby 00 type range like we saw with the Duchess of Atholl. And I will be honest with you, the most recent release of the Hornby A4 is actually really, really good. And I think that that wouldn't be money well spent to retool that to go into the Hornby 00 range. I think there's a lot of mileage to, although saying that, we had an all-new retooled Princess Coronation not that long before the Duchess of Atholl one. So never say never. I also think that there are some Class 56s ready to go. Now, I've mentioned this before, but my guess on this is we've had the Floyd Class 56.
Was it pink?
It had pink on it, and yes, people call it the Pink Floyd.
Excellent.
But that came out comparatively recently, and it was the only Class 56 announced in the Hornby range, and it's a bit of a strange livery. It's got very limited niche appeal, and I can't... Oh, excuse me. I can't actually see that Hornby will have set up to make that on its own. So I've got it. I'm like 95% certain that the Hornby range will launch with at least 2, possibly more, Class 56s in liveries that we've been lacking for a long time. So I think small logo and large logo BR Blue, Class 56s, that's my guess, are sitting in a warehouse ready to go. And they are going to hit the shelves pretty much within a week or two of the, if not in the same week as the Hornby 2021 announcements. That's one of my predictions, because I think Hornby will want to have product that's just literally, we're doing this, and there it is, buy it. And I think that that is a great move. We saw that happen last year, and I think the year before. It is a method of operation of Hornby, and that Floyd 56 screams to me that there's more sat in a warehouse ready to go.
Which leads us into an excellent question from Melchester Model Railway, who says, excuse me, Jenny, what would Hornby have to release for you to do a Simon Kohler, you absolute genius moment again?
What, like last year?
Yes.
For me, the biggie would be seeing, hopefully the 8F, but another model go into that Hornby 00 range. I think also Lion, and that's something I need to mention as well. I think Lion, which is the locomotive that was in the Titfield Thunderbolt film, that is an open goal in terms of if they want to expand the pioneering the Era 1 range of stuff to build on the success of the Rocket. I could well see a release of possibly the Rocket locomotive and the coaches boxed as separate items. I could see that coming out, and I would, if they released the Rocket on its own in a box and the first class coach on its own in a box, I would regard that as a shrewd business move on account of the number of people who wanted those models and couldn't get them. I think that the third class coach, now I've heard rumours, and I don't know how true this is, that the third class coach was brought forward from the 2021 range. They were working on it, but they brought it forward for commercial reasons, and that suggests that if that is true, there must be something to go with it. It would have been a very strange release for 2021 all on its own. So I think that there's more to come in Era 1.
So we've had a few questions, and people are having a conversation now about what to put underneath a model railway. Would you recommend laying tracks straight onto boards, or do you use cork or felt or foam? Right,
my personal opinion on this is some materials should be avoided like the plague. And I'm sorry, Pico, and Gauge Master to an extent as well, but the foam track underlay, I've heard so many bad things about that foam degenerating over time and just crumbling into dust.
Oh, that's not good for a model
Which
railway.
Obviously then leaves your track effectively levitating, and it won't continue levitating for long. So it will completely mess up your permanent way. I've seen a lot of people use cork. And to be honest with you, the only reason that I would use cork is forget about sound deadening. You're going to stick your ballast to it with a resin. It's going to go solid anyway. It does nothing for sound deadening. But to give you that shoulder so that when you ballast, you've got that authentic looking ballast shoulder. But there are other products that you can also use as well. I've been very impressed with the Woodland Scenics road beds. I've used them before, and actually I've found them surprisingly good. I've a feeling that Gauge Master might do a similar product, a much newer product than the old foam underlay. And again, that is quite good, but you kind of have to glue your track, and it's a lot more work laying track. Now, everything that you see up here, Weir Yard is built direct to the baseboards. What is under the track is just pure plywood. They are fastened to the plywood and then ballasted over the top. Underneath that layer of ballast is the baseboard. It's just as simple as that. That's my personal preference. I've never had a problem with it. And I've never ever had anybody go, oh, you should have used underlay because that looks wrong. Nobody has ever spotted that there is nothing under the track other than baseboard. So I'd argue that you're hearing how loud Weir Yard actually is when it's running. We've got 4 trains going around. This is how loud it gets with 4 big long trains thundering around Weir Yard. It's not that loud at all.
We've got a very controversial opinion from Cottesmore about the Hornby announcements. He's saying, what if they, and hear me out here, didn't announce anything and just released the stuff that they said they were going to release and haven't?
I know a lot of people say that about Bachmann as well. But what is outstanding from the 2021 range? There's the Hush Hush, and the 2MT are the two which I can think of. Now, they've been put back more due to reasons outside their control. There's been a lot of issues. Obviously, you know, we've had COVID, if you haven't noticed.
Yeah, but the reasons, they're very hush-hush.
Callum, actually, at SDJR 7F88, said that he took great delight in teasing somebody with that. So, oh no, I can't tell you anything about the Hornby 2020 without announcements. We've been told to keep them hush-hush. But that and the 2MT, we have seen EPs. They are a lot more advanced. You remember when Bachmann announced the Class 24-1 with the headcode boxes, and we didn't even see an EP for several years. So actually, you know, I think that there's not a huge amount that they've got as a backlog. Bachmann tend to be the ones that have a massive backlog. Are you all right?
I've just realised there's no shunt on the side today.
I've not got any shunt going on because the layout is actually prepped for the professional photographer coming tomorrow to photograph it for Railway Modeller. So I actually filled up the roads that the shuttle, the DCC Concepts ABC shuttle uses, is currently full of wagons, so it looks like a marshalling yard, a hump marshalling yard.
The reason I ask is because I noticed that there wasn't one over there, but there are lights on the shunt behind you.
What?
So it looks like that one's
Oh
on.
yeah, it just does that. It's the same with that one. That's got the cab light on, and I'm not sure why the cab light comes on that one. Which people watching are like, what? Yeah.
I'll switch the camera.
Oh yeah, hold on. So I've got. Let me just see. So there's a cab light on in this class 3. 0363 is that? Oh gosh, my eyesight's gone bad. 0366. But the 03371 doesn't. And I haven't actually, neither of those have been told to do anything. They've just been put on the track, and that's what happened. It's probably, in fact, it's almost certainly a quirk of the particular decoder that's in them. But I found have a different camera angle.
Oh, that's a nice comment. See fantasy trains. I feel so proud. Our Weir Yard in a magazine. Hey.
Yes, it is. So I will, as soon as I know which issue Weir Yard is going into, I will let you guys know so you can zip out and actually get some professionally taken photographs of it in a magazine that you can look at. Because I know one of the complaints actually is that because these cameras, we have to lower the resolution to actually squeeze all that information into the internet. You know, there's only so much information each bucket. I've been told on Curd and Pete. How long have I been like that?
I think a minute. It's true though. The problem that we have is that the resolution can't be as high as we'd look. These cameras, I mean, we use this movable camera that you just showed off with. We move that and use it at a higher resolution when we're doing the Book Run Comedy Club.
Yes.
So it can go higher. It's just that we can't make it go higher because if we did, we don't have the bandwidth to send the video out to everyone. And it's a compromise. Basically, the Monday Club is as high resolution as we can possibly make it. And once the internet gets faster and computers get quicker, we will, of course, upgrade the video quality. But for now, we just make do.
Right, going back to the subject of underlay, I just want to read out a couple of comments. Ham Shackleton says, I don't recall whose foam it was that I used a good while ago, but over time it turned into a sticky black mess. Now, sounds like
a lot of foam does that. And if you think about, you know, all those electronic devices in the 90s that had that strange kind of...
like slightly rubbery.
Yeah, that kind of foam, it's all turned to sticky glue.
Oh, so like if you had like your what was it called? The Palm Pilot. Who made that?
Oh, Scion.
Yeah, the Scion Palm Pilot.
Yeah.
Apparently, if you find one of those now, it looks like somebody's painted it in bitumen because it's like
Yeah.
And unfortunately, actually, how does polystyrene do?
Polystyrene just sits there. It doesn't do anything.
Oh, that's why they're trying to cut down on it for landfill, because it just sits there for
Yeah.
millions of years.
Nothing touches polystyrene.
The reason I ask is because obviously I'm using an awful lot of the Woodland Scenics risers and inclines, and they're made out of a polystyrene blend. So we should be good. But yeah, that sounds like it could have been Pico, but I'm not sure.
And unfortunately, at the time, no one knew. Otherwise, they wouldn't have put this stuff on.
But they're still selling. Pico still sell that stuff, and people say steer clear of it. D.L. Warren says, I nailed the track straight to the board and haven't had any issues. Yeah, never really had any issues whatsoever with that. It's the way I roll as well.
Talking about putting stuff straight on the track, does anyone know where that idea of tying the woman to a railway track for a villain thing came from? Because apparently it's not in any old silent films that anyone can find.
Are you sure?
Yeah, this surprised me, and it just came to mind when you were talking about nailing.
Was it like a
track.
photograph or something? Or something like a cartoon in Punch?
Quite possibly, but apparently it's not in any silent film anyone has ever found, but everyone remembers seeing it.
Yeah.
You can picture it now in your head, can't you?
Yep.
The guy next to the track, he's got the handlebar moustache.
And the plonkety-plonk piano music.
Apparently it doesn't exist.
All right, well, there we are. Paul Jessen says, Rapido have roadbed, known as, the noise killer. So not product I've come across, but I might have to look into that.
The noise killer, eh?
James Pett says, I think that one can make the sound rather less with ballast using a particular type of glue. I've heard it said that I think it's Copydex, which is a rubber-based glue, is much better because it has some give to it when it sets. But yeah, definitely diluted PVA. Effectively, when it sets solid like a resin. So effectively, your ballast and track are one solid lump, regardless of what's underneath.
And now a lot of people are saying, was it Dudley Do-Right, Keystone Cops, Buster Keaton? Is it in the General?
It's not in the General. That's actually free to watch on YouTube.
Yeah,
at least it was.
Copyright. They're saying Harold Lloyd might have done it. But yeah, it's an interesting thing. I think it's actually not from film. Everyone thinks it's film. I think what it actually is it's one of those old vaudeville stage shows. Something like that. That's why it would be such a cartoon
like the
villain. And everyone just remembers that kind of thing.
And the villain, I always remember it as having like that big handlebar moustache.
Yes,
like,
absolutely.
Wah, ha, ha, wah, ha, ha. And a big stovepipe top hat as well, is my memory.
Paul Jensen says, Zoe, you're not considering tying Jenny to the Garden Railway. It's not big enough. What would be the point?
Trains haven't run in 18 months. I'd be there I'd die of exposure.
Actually, that would be an interesting thing to do. If you could just line going, hey, 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 as a tiny train comes towards you, and then it
just goes dunk.
We could make a really funny short film from that. That would be funny. Oh, Mike and Sue say, just do Google this. It says there is one from 1910. I am amazed because last time I looked into this and I was watching a documentary on it, that there isn't actually a film.
Oh, right.
But if there's one from 1910, fair enough.
Right, Ben Tuller. I'm trying to get through your comments, guys. But she's not letting me.
Z Fantasy Trains just point something out.
What?
Under the Gaslight has a man tied to the track, not a woman. There you are.
Is that the film that gaslighting comes from?
No, it's actually a film called Gaslight.
No. Melchester Model Railway says, I laid track direct to baseboard, works fine. And Andrew Murphy says, I plan on using some plywood for my track. Oh, for underneath the track. Yeah, that works. If you've got some offcuts. And Cooper and District Model Railway Club, a couple of the club layouts have used self-adhesive cork tiles. Yeah, very popular. Going back to the Hornby 2021 predictions, Paul Higgins says, a nice 3F Ginty in red for 2021, please. They've already had that in the railroad range, and I'll just find it, actually, because it's a lovely model. Bachmann have already released that model quite some time ago, actually. Come on, where are you? Ginty. So I believe, is this what you seek? 16440. in the Midland Railway Crimson Maroon, and that's actually that was a special commission for Hereford Model Centre quite some time ago, actually. I just put that out. I'll put it actually in shot there so it can.
Mike and Sue are correct. I'm going to put the link into the chat now.
So you were wrong. Would we be?
I watched a documentary that claimed this. It's not my fault.
Was this a documentary on YouTube by any chance?
No. Yes. But this is interesting. It's not what you would think it is. It's not the image that's in your head. So I'm going to show that. Because we can do this sort of thing. So, where is my link that I've just sent? I will try and find it. You keep going while I find this.
Yeah. Ben Tollett says, I would love to see more industrial locomotives in both 040 and 060. I think we're not going to see new releases of the Terrier, although I did suggest to Simon Kohler that one glaring omission is the Isle of Wight Central Railways liveried Terrier. But unusual. One of them has carried that livery in preservation, but I think it was 4 carried that livery back in the day. And I know Dapol have announced the New Haven Harbour Company livery on a Terrier. First time I've ever seen that. That's in N-gauge. So it is possible that Hornby might have a final hurrah of Terrier liveries and maybe bring out those too. And there are, of course, a lot of other Terriers. So, you know, something like Thames or Hackney or Peckham in the LBSC in Ochre Improved Engine Green livery. But I think Gypsy Hill from the Rails stable is the only one that's ever been released out of the new range in the burnt umber with the LBSC lettering on the tanks. So that is another one that I could see Hornby bringing out. So actually I've talked myself into predicting a Terrier, but I think that the fact that a lot of the Terriers have been remaindered probably suggests that they will rest the Terrier moulding for a year or so.
Okay, Ben Davies has said this a few times. I would love to see Top Gear Train Car Series 17 episode and Jaguar XJS. He wants to have a caravan to make it into coaches. I'm not sure what he's talking about there.
Oh, you know when they made their own train? The Top Gear themed train.
Right, I must have missed that episode.
Cottesmore has studiously listed 5 without even looking at the website of models that are still outstanding.
How on earth could he possibly have that many already? Oh, because he's been waiting for them and probably has his name down for some.
Manthony 1956 says, so what is the vintage of the day this Monday, Jenny? Well, I'm sure that it's probably vintage 2020. Diet Pepsi.
From the vineyards of Pepsi.
From the vineyards of the corn syrup mines. Right. It doesn't have corn syrup in the UK, thank goodness.
Oh, this is a good point that's just come up. Where's it gone? Oh, it just ran off. OORail.com says that direct to baseboard is the way to go. Pinning the track and using PVA and water mix on the ballast means you can drop water onto the ballast, remove it, and unpin your track for reuse.
That is true, and that is how I salvaged a lot of track for Weiryard from the previous layout, Bolton Trinity Road. And the best thing to do is boil the kettle, and then using the same syringe that you've used for the glue water mix, just syringe the boiling water onto the track, leave it for a bit whilst you pull out all of the pins, using a very small flat-bladed screwdriver, just lever them out. And then with a wallpaper type scraper, you can very carefully just remove the lot. And if you're feeling really cheap, you can even recycle the ballast by breaking it off when it's still wet into like a Tupperware box, put it in the airing cupboard to dry out, and then grind it back up. It breaks all the PVA, and you end up with like used spent ballast, which is great for ballasting like dirty sidings, but also using as just like dirty gravel for in your scenery.
Oh my goodness. Finley Carden says, can everyone please hush hush about the Hornby range?
So a big hello to Z Fantasy Train says, I feel so proud. We've already read that one out. Gosh, I am behind. Map the Dragon Railways. I had a thought come to mind that a brand new LMS Crab would be nice. Only other one I have seen is the old back one. I think that they might be a bit cautious about going head to head with fairly new models, but I could stand correcting. Canadian Rail Fan says, my mum is making bay clothes. I think she's it might be eBaying clothes. I think she's giving hints to have grandchild more money. Ben Davis says, hi Jennifer and Zoe, I would love to see... Oh yeah, I'm reading the comments that you've just read.
You do that a lot.
I do, yeah.
You don't take any notice.
Tim Condrup, we're going to find out on the 5th of January at 10 p.m. Fat Wallet Boy 2, what's the ride height like, Jenny, with the Hornby RBR coaches compared to the Bachmann Mark 1s? Where's the train gone? And they look all right, it has to be said. I'm looking there now, and the ride height, they match each other. They're pretty good matched in together in a rake. I've not had any problems with ride height issues on those. Can we get the thing up on the screen?
Sorry, I hadn't realised I'd left it on that screen.
She's left it so I can't actually see what's going on.
You don't need to see what's going on. You never pay attention anyway. That's why I'm here.
Yeah, David Ellingford. Hi, young ladies.
Where?
and all just wish you a happy new year. At the moment I'm watching you in my break as I'm on duty doing my volunteer first aid responder. Excellent work, sir.
Well,
excellent.
Thank you very much for doing that. That is appreciated for everyone, I'm sure.
Ronald Moritz says pink foam seems very popular with American and Canadian layouts. I've never seen pink foam actually. I'm assuming there's a brand that sells it, or is it a foam that's used as packaging over there and being repurposed? D.L. Warren says, one of the 203s has the witch's hat funnel, but one doesn't, so it'll be two different runs of locomotive. Yes, I noticed that, and yes, I'm not getting much out these days. No, I think actually they were made at the same time, because 03066 was the very first BR Tops Blue release of the Class 3, and at the same time, Rail Exclusives commissioned two Class 3s, which included the only production run of the Witch's Hat variety, which I then bought this one second-hand, 03371. I can't remember what the other one was, but I didn't buy it because they were second-hand on a stall, and at the time I could only justify the cost of one, so I went for the more distinctive one with the Witch's Hat. I think it's down to the brand of decoder that's in them. I've got a suspicion that one's got a Bachmann decoder and the other one's got something like a lens decoder in. Eric Saint says, okay, have to go. Have a nice night, and to all already a happy new year from Belgium. Let's hope better than the one that's ending. Eric signing out. Well, look, you take care, Eric, and we'll catch you later. And don't forget as well that you
can't get any worse than... Actually, take that back. I am not going to tempt fate.
All we need now is for the Goths to accidentally open a portal to hell whilst they're doing their thing with candles or pour water on a gremlin. Andrew,
pink foam is insulation board in America.
Right. Yeah, over
That
here
makes
that
sense.
people use, and the brand name that's over here is Celotex. But it tends to be like a weird cream colour, but that does get used a lot.
What did you use a lot of? You were cutting all kinds of stuff for the project. What was Les whistling a lot of?
Jablite.
Jablite.
It's a brand name, so it'll be sold elsewhere as something else. But that's like it's like a very dark, almost like a black colour, and also they sell it in white as well.
Yeah, that's a thingamajig, isn't it?
Mm.
Yeah, that would work. Okay, so we've got an awful lot of.
Oh, interesting. All right, just we've got a safety thing here. Safety. I just need to read this out. Dongit's Model Railway says if you use copy decks, make sure the area is well ventilated. Of course, yes, it's the same if you're using any kind of solvent.
Yes. I kind of got distracted there and went over my words because Keith Pointer has an update on his beverage. The rum is 100% in my coffee. That's kind of threw me, you see.
Yeah, got a professional Texan in the room there. Cottersmore says DCC Concepts, foam bed and copy decks, job done. Yes, of course. I always forget DCC Concepts do an awful lot more than electronics. Also, full range of ballast as well. Never used their ballast, but it does look very good. But yes, absolutely right.
Right, Timber Surf has an explanation. Jad Light is expanded polystyrene. However, the pink stuff is extruded polystyrene.
Ooh.
I don't know the difference, but apparently there is a difference.
Yes, expanded polystyrene is done with a chemical reaction that causes it to bubble and the gas remains in it. Extruded is where you force it through an aperture, a shaped aperture, and that creates the actual shape. So I'm guessing the pink stuff is far more solid.
This is an interesting point that OORail.com has brought up again. Cork is a lot harder to get off the bottom of sleepers when you remove them. So he puts his money saved on cork into buying more rolling stock.
Yeah, it's a good point. I think it's money wasted, to be honest. Melchester Model Railway says Hattons are selling real track class 156s for only £195 in their sale. Unfortunately, I couldn't resist. Definitely. Rogers asks for a Southern Region 060 G6 in malachite green. Andrew Murphy says, I plan on using some PVA and water. That way, if I have to move stuff, I can pull up my tracks. Yeah, PVA and water does work really, really well. What?
Garthian has turned up. Hello, Garthian.
We've been missing you, Garthian. Welcome. How are you doing?
He says, sorry I'm late. I completely forgot what day it was. I only realised it was Monday when I saw a link on the Facebook group. Yes, remember, Christmas has struck.
Yes, we've all eaten our own body weight in chocolate. But, remember, Garthian, the Monday clubbers are never late. Everybody else is just unfashionably early.
Yes, and also, the Christmas curse has struck. What day is it? Is it bins?
Yeah, this is funny actually. I did once try this as an experiment. I put our bins out on the wrong day, and then everybody on the street put their bins out as well. Must be bin day. They know something we don't. Quick, get the bins out. There's probably people in America going, what's this thing with bin day?
No, everyone knows about bin day.
Is it a thing in America as well, where you get a day of the week and it's like, I've got to get the bin down to the curb?
Well, I'd assume that people don't just leave their bins on the curb.
Right, I'm well behind here. So, Ewood Railway, hi to you. Flymo Chairman 1, cat ears. Yeah, people just know.
Yeah, you've run out of hairbands, haven't you? You've broken them all, so you had to wear your cat ear ones.
Fiddly Carden says, everyone like and subscribe to Jenny Kirk and tickle the notification button. Boom! Alex Faxton says, I have loads of pink foam. It's amazing. Where would it's like B&Q, somewhere like that, maybe? Or do we need to go to somewhere like, I want to say Jessop's. That's the camera shop that went bust.
Yeah, don't go to Jessop's looking for model railway stuff.
Jewson, that's the name I was looking for. Mark Wilson says pink foam is Celotex. Right, I'm with you.
I keep thinking you're going to say sellotape. I'm like, what? You make model railways out of sellotape?
Barnabas Junction points out, I've heard that a 00 gauge class 175 is going to be produced by Revolution Trains. So actually, looks like we might be getting the 175 after all. Alex Faxer says pink insulation foam from B&Q. Finley Garden asks, Jenny, how many meters of track do you own on all your railways? I don't know. I know that I used about 200 yards up here of track. So that's about 600 feet. I don't know what that is in meters, I have to say.
Peter Leyland says, what pizza are you on, Jenny? What pizza? It's a mighty meaty.
It is apparently, yes.
Oh my goodness. We've spent the entire evening talking about things that aren't really model railway related.
Right. Right, interesting. OO Rail says about 30% PVA to 70% water, but that's mainly because the glue I can get my hands on here in America tends to leave a bit of a residue at 50-50. Interesting. So you've got a different mix of on the PVA. Right.
So just ask him.
I've just reached the rum is 100% in my coffee.
It knocks you off, doesn't it? It's
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
Hang on. So I've just asked in the chat, what are your model railway New Year's resolutions? Jen, what are your resolutions for 2021?
You know, I haven't thought about it.
My goodness. Jen hasn't got any plans.
David Scott says, I use Ballytherm for insulation in the railway room. Donegal Dad, hi to you, says, good night all. Have to go. Great stream, Jenny. Hit the like, folks, and Happy New Year to everyone.
I just realised why no one's mentioning where the TARDIS is. Leave it. That's because I put it in the wrong place.
Yes, you did. Timber Surf says both blue and pink are extruded, known as styrofoam, but will be black in the future. Right. I'm up to where Garthian pops in. 1701, the filed flyer. XBS is closer knit foam, whereas the other stuff is poly beads formed to a shape. There's a lot of science in insulation, isn't there?
Well, yeah, of course there is.
I only wanted to lay my track on something. Tim JD Dowd, hi to you. Hell McLean says bins, lol. OORail.com confirms, yep, we've got bin days. Hi to Crossways Point Junction. In America, they say garbage. Yeah, actually, it's a funny story. I was talking to Ken Patterson on the What's Neat This Week podcast, and he was absolutely tickled, him and Michelle, by the word rubbish. Now, rubbish, it seems, is a word not frequently used, if at all, in the US, because, of course, you call it garbage. But rubbish is a word that we use quite a lot in the UK.
Yeah, we rubbish things all the time.
Yeah, because it has more uses than just describing garbage. It's like, oh, see, that's rubbish, that is. I mean, basically, it says that, that's naff or poor or whatever like that. I want to say the C word, but I'm not going to.
Carp.
Yeah, that one too.
It's an anagram.
Yeah, I know what it is, you and your fancy fish-based things. Right.
So, we've had a few New Year's resolutions come through, and I'm going to just scroll back to where I asked. Let's have a look.
Slowbird says, we leave the garbage cans laying in the yard where the wind blew them. Oh, we had that as well with stuff. Timbersurf says, Celotex is a make, not a type. Yeah, definitely. Right, Keith Pointer says, it's trash day in USA. In UK, it's bin day on Tuesday. As you know, with us, it's Thursday, it's bin day.
Yeah. Me usually. Okay, so we got here, Hammer Shackleton says, I only made one resolution, to never make resolutions. Fair enough. Mike and Sue are going to finally get the model room up and running, which is very nice. What else have we got? Alright, just scrolling down a little bit. Garthian says to spend less money on locomotives that aren't getting any use.
Never gonna happen.
It's not gonna happen. Your best bet is to just bite the bullet and make some use of them.
Ben Tullett says, don't ask for chips in America either, as you'll be disappointed. Yeah, they don't really have what we call chips over here. They aren't French fries. We have French fries as well.
Yeah,
French fries are what we were scoffing earlier on. Chips, they're literally, you take a potato and you chip big chunks off. They're much thicker. I'm not sure.
They're the in-between between French fries and potato wedges.
Yeah, French fries and a baked potato.
Yeah.
Yes, I don't know whether Americans have it. Obviously, you have French fries, but in terms of the kind of chips that we have over here, I'm not sure whether you do or if you do what they're called. But chips in America are obviously what we call crisps.
Yeah, it's pretty weird. Slowbird says, my resolution is to actually build the layout. Whereas Finley Carden says his resolution is to get more G-scale live steam locomotives.
Ooh,
more steam!
Tony Wright says, my resolution is to buy more locomotives. Now that sounds like a resolution I can get behind. I'm gonna
Yes,
close.
King Fox Junction, get more trains.
Uh-huh.
And now I've lost everywhere else. Where I'm up to. Ben Tullett says New Year's resolution is in limbo, as I don't know if I will continue with my existing layout or create a completely new one. Now that sounds interesting. Keep us updated if you do that.
Very
We'd
much.
like to see that.
And somebody was asking as well if you got an email. We had. Oh, actually, George Botterini says steak fries.
Steak fry. Yes, steak cut we have here.
Yeah, with steak cut chips. Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
What email were you asking about?
Somebody asked if have we received many emails for later on.
Let's have a look at how much I've got listed at the moment. We have 10.
Garthian says another resolution will be to actually build a layout. Might have somewhere to run my many locomotives on. Oh, come on, you've had the whole of lockdown. Come on, people. We should have been. I built a potato mountain during lockdown, and actually, I'm well on with another one as well, which we'll see at some point in the new year.
I still think we should do the project that I keep talking to you about, and that you talked about as well.
What, the Christmas one?
Where you just get an old suitcase and build a travelling layout. I think that would be an amazing challenge.
I actually pitched a TV series idea. I'll tell you about this because it never went anywhere.
Anyway, yeah.
Or if it did, they didn't pay me, so screw them. But I pitched an idea about having a model railway in a backpack, and you're on a mission to go from one model show or model club or model exhibition or something like that, and find a way of travelling with the layout to another continent as your luggage, and you have to use public transport, thumbing lifts and stuff like that. And it would be like almost like a Top Gear challenge type thing, but without the car. And you'd say, you'd start, you'd be dropped on the beach in like southern Vietnam, and you have to get up to the very top of the country. And on the way, you'd be introducing people to the idea of railway modelling, and you'd try and add to the layout things that you see on the way. You try and scratch build little things that you add to that model, so that when you reach your destination, it reflects something of the journey you'd been on. And I pitched this as a series idea. I came up with, I think it was 8 different episodes for doing this, and it would be pretty cheap TV because you'd have 2 people with the layout plus like camera and sound guys, so like 4 people to do this. And I pitched this idea, and it fell flat on its face, absolutely flat on its face.
Really
they were like, "No, we're not doing that."
You also had the other idea, didn't you? A model railway built on a top hat. As a wearable one you could take to...
that was part of a different thing. This was about unusual model railways. I can't remember that pitch. Now you mention it, I remember the proof of concept photo with like Z gauge on the rim. It might even have been T gauge on the rim of a hat.
Yeah, I just think that would be a great idea. And if you did it light enough and you got the electronics maybe running off batteries or something that you could build into the top of the top hat, you could actually have a wearable layout that went around the...
So you just walk around the show looking at things whilst you're
thing. You put a magnet in, you using that power base thing that...
Well, no, that's how T-gauge works. It sticks with a magnet.
Well, there you are then. There you are. You could do an amazing thing like that. And you could go to conventions with your layout and just rock up, put your hat on, here's my layout.
Well, I'm set up, let's go.
Yeah. Just imagine that. It's stuff like that. The fun side of model railway, that's what I like.
There's your challenge. Make it.
You want me to make a T-scale model railway on a hat?
Mm-hmm.
Very well.
Now when you come to...
Challenge accepted.
You all saw that, didn't you?
Yeah, I think it would be amazing.
Hmm.
So, I'll have to work out. We'll probably film that as well. In fact, we will certainly film that. I don't know. We'd make an update video for your channel, but it would be kind of chronicled in my vlog.
All right.
So there we go. I think that would be great. So I'm just trying to think. Well, we've got an interesting comment from Garthian. Sandy Toxvig has done that on an episode of QI a couple of years ago. She's one of us and had a T-scale hat layout. Oh, it's already been done.
Oh no! Oh no!
Well, I'm going to do another one.
Oh wow! So she's one of us, is she? I know she's one of us.
One of us. One of us.
Yeah. Yeah. Also, Anne Diamond is one of us as well.
Yeah.
So there's probably, there's a lot of us.
Finley Cotton says, "Oh, here we go, T-gauge, here we come." that would be. How many scales would that be now? You've got your double O. You've got your
O gauge.
O gauge.
And
You've got
I've got
009. The T scale. That's your fourth one.
Mine. This is your project.
Yeah, but you're going to be the one that ends up making
Oh.
the most use of it.
George Botterini says, use a sombrero. Oh, yes, extra real estate for scenery.
That is true. However, I do love the idea of...
You do a sombrero and have like a Spanish-themed one with like cactus and stuff.
Sounds good. Although I was considering...
Oh, interesting enough, Dazza 1977 says, TARDIS behind the Land Rover next to the track.
Finley Carden says, I have a screenshot of that. I'm excited, expecting that Zoe, you have shook hands now. Zoe's getting a railway. Everyone get excited. Well, I was actually thinking, if I do a top hat layout, then we could make it like a super British one. You know?
Oh, actually, Ham Shackleton. Oh my word! I'm looking further back. Oh, hello, Wardle Road. Nice to see you in. Loads of people have spotted the TARDIS to get it moved there.
Well,
So.
yeah, I put it there to make up for the fact that I've hidden it too well.
John N from NC says, just say the TARDIS. Hythe Kent asks, has no one here used Pico set track curve points? I'll be honest with you, I have tried using them. My advice to you is don't, if you can at all help it. The inner curve on the Pico set track points is arguably far too tight for most items of rolling stock and locomotives to comfortably get round. So in all honesty, I would say steer clear of them. Pico do in their streamline range curved points, but it's quite telling that when you look at them, they're not that curved, because if you go beyond a certain curve, they just don't work very well.
We've got some interesting ideas here. Mark Wilson says, or a Monday Club challenge. Put a diorama in a shoebox. It could be a competition. I'd love to see dioramas and shoeboxes. We could showcase them in the virtual model railway thing.
There's a whole genre of building a model railway in box files.
Yeah, I still think that's...
You've got there's a big pile of them in the shed that are spare, because I don't know what you did with what was in them.
They're all the old council documents when I was
so what you should do is deal with some more of the paperwork that's knocking about.
If you want to make a travelling layout in a box file, then you do it, babe.
It's not really my thing, it has to be said. Although I saw a really fabulous diorama on Facebook today, the disused railway tunnel mouth. And it was the low-down photo shots of that looked almost real. And then the panned out shots showed that actually it was quite small, but really effective.
It would be very interesting.
James Petts is... Oh, my word.
Everyone's spotting the TARDIS.
James Petts is on the... this is getting to be quite a thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
Right, so I'm going to change the view to hide the Doctor's modesty. Yeah, loads of people have spotted it. A big hello to McBenman1. Hythe Kent says, yeah, it's the Pico set track curve point that's the pig. All in all, I would say that you be careful over there. I was about to say hand it to me, but then people will just see like,
yeah, there's a bit of an issue with handing it to you.
Yeah, you be careful over there. I've got visions of you just disappearing through a hole in the floor. Right. Yeah, Stephen Cameron also says, I tried a Pico set track curve point once, didn't work out too well for me.
James Pett says, I approve of tea trays.
Oh yeah, there's somebody says, Ron B says, have you heard of TTAC, the Tea Tray Appreciation Club? Oh, I know that there was, my father found it most amusing, but he called them the Tractor Seat Appreciation Boys. But it was actually, they were quite sniffy about it. So no, it's implement seats, and they're the cast iron seats that old farm machinery used to have, sort of like 19th and early 20th century. And there are people that collect these seats because there's such variety to the castings.
People
and
collect all sorts.
But they had their annual general meeting for the global global implement seat collecting club, and they used to have it in a really, really small 1970s caravan at this show we used to go to, and they'd all pile into this caravan and be in there for like 3 hours straight, and we could never work out what the heck they were talking about.
You should have joined just to find out.
Dazza 1977 says, Jenny, been trying to find out if you have lights in the carriages and the trains. Right, the Pullman train, which is just about to hove into view. As it goes round, you will see that all of the table lights on that set do light up, and they are the Hornby Pullman coaches, the 8-wheel Pullmans with the matchboard sidings. And excuse me, yes, all of the lights are operational. What's interesting, I'm looking on the monitor. It's actually quite difficult to tell on the monitor, although the observation car is quite obvious. But you may also be thrown by the class 25 in the foreground, if I can find it here. That too, turn it on and off there. That has its lights on as well, for reasons that remain unknown to me. Oh, toot toot.
Lots of people, they collect all kinds of things.
Oh, yeah.
For example, I used to collect coins.
Although Ham Shackleton says, cast iron seat collectors, perhaps they were comparing their hemorrhoids. If you've ever tried sitting on one of those things, they're not the most comfortable, not by a long way. In fact, the best thing to do is to get an old towel, fold it up and sit on top of that, on top of the implement seat. They're not comfortable in the slightest. Ron Stanbridge, I think I've come in halfway through. Oh, here we are. Ron Stanbridge says, I had some make a layout in a violin case and also an ironing board back in the 1980s. I remember the ironing board when it was featured in Railway Modeller. It was in 009 from what I remember. Ben Tullett says 009 or HOE trains make great hat box sized layouts. Oh, definitely.
Yeah, I can imagine that.
Yeah. Keith Pointer says the TARDIS next to the Portaloo.
It is, but I'm not going to move it anymore because Jenny.
What Portaloo? I don't have a Portaloo. Where's the Portaloo?
If someone's using the TARDIS as a Portaloo, we need to.
That's the episode of Doctor Who that was too grim for TV.
Yeah.
It's like, oi, that's not a urinal.
James Pett says 009ing board.
Oh yeah, they said when your phone went off with the James Bond theme, we got all sorts of theme jokes, including "Were you Agent 009?"
I'm not
Madden's...
going to move the TARDIS anymor because Jenny, it is.
Oh my word! Gosh, time has flown, hasn't it? But
yes.
Right, if you start sorting out there. Madon Steam Railway says the seats from old tractors are very highly collectible. You can find them at the Enfield Pageant of Motoring if we have one this year. Yeah, I know some of them actually. I had a chat with these guys, and it was quite an eye opener that some of these things are actually super rare and actually quite valuable. And apparently, one of the things they talked about in their little 6-foot caravan. With the global contingent of the club, all 6 of them, was that there were certain seats that were actually worth hundreds upon hundreds of pounds, even then in the late 1980s. Ben Tullett says, video time! Oh, it's like when we were at school when they used to wheel out the TV on the wheeled stand with the lockable case with the VHS recorder in.
Funny
you knew that it was going to be a great lesson when that got wheeled in.
Funny you should mention that. Ron B says here, what about a layout in an old television? If you take out the inside and replace the glass front with glass, proper clear glass, rather than the covered sheet that they use for the signal, then you could make quite an interesting thing. I mean, I've seen old TVs turned into fish tanks and all sorts.
Yeah, that was interesting. Yeah. Anyway, you do your special thing. Let's see. I'll keep reading the comments.
Well, last week, Finley Carden sent in that amazing video with the lights and the smoke.
Oh, yes.
He sent us a follow-up.
Excellent. Looking forward to that. Garthian says, I'm thinking of doing an ironing board layout about the biggest size layout I can fit in my flat. Oh, they're saying that. And that looks nice. I've just seen on the screen.
For everyone who says that they haven't got the space for a layout, the other idea that you had, for the one that would be easy to take to conventions and stuff, a chest of drawers layout.
Yeah, and actually one was featured again in Railway Modeller, or it might have been, it was either Model Rail or Railway Modeller about 15 years ago. And it was actually a guy who was in the armed forces, so he had a family and everything, so they'd have a house on base, but he'd only ever stay somewhere for maybe 6 or 8 months before he was moved somewhere completely different. So they did a lot of moving. And he hit upon the idea of taking an old chest of drawers, building the scenic part of the layout into the very top with a hinged lid to protect it in transit, use all the drawers underneath to store stuff, and then the rest of the layout for a continuous run was just on like very, very lightly built double track on top of a trestle, which would dismantle down and actually fit in the bottom 2 drawers, and it made you had a lovely item of furniture when the railway wasn't in use.
Yeah.
And also it was great for moving house in. Right, Leamington Station says, good evening, sorry I'm late, haven't missed much. Oh, you missed a lot actually. Welcome aboard. James Petts also remembers the television on the wheeled stand. It was when that thing came into the lesson at the start, you knew it was a good Sky, because you basically just kicked back and watched TV for the lesson.
Unfortunately, it was never a good TV show, was it? It
didn't really matter. It wasn't real work. But I always remember as well, you get the older teacher who didn't understand VHS tape at all. Oh, I remember one saying, it's like, I tried putting the tape in, but it jammed. And so you're in a room of kids, you're in the best place possible for tech support. And so we went and had a look, and he put the tape in upside down. And he then said afterwards in his defence, he said, I thought it was like a cassette tape with 2 sides.
That's an interesting point. Why? Oh, of course, because the
helical scan, they don't need to be turned over.
Yeah. So, are we ready?
Hold on a moment. Bagnall Dave says, sorry folks, early night on earlies tomorrow. See you all next week. Look, you take care. It's been great having you.
Take care.
Although Peter Leyland says, last comment I'm going to read out. Going back to track noise, it comes from the days of ready-to-run engines that were noisy and bad kit-built chassis sounding like a tin of nails. Yeah, very much. In Lee 50C, there will definitely be a live stream for the 5th for new models from Hornby. Thank you, Combat Bunny, for sharing the Facebook group. Don't forget, guys, to check that out and join if you haven't already done. Right, let's...
So this first one that we've got, if you want to jump to...
apparently there is a guy on YouTube done a railway and a TV in 009.
Excellent, we need to see that.
Right, anyway, I'm really looking forward to this. This looks nice.
This is Finley's. It's the Orchard Line Railway, and it's Ruby on a small freight train. So what
this looks lovely.
Yeah, again, excellent lighting.
Well, it's real lighting, but I love these little garden lines.
And this will be nice. G-scale.
I don't know. Did he say in his email?
He did mention G-scale as one of his things that he wanted more of. Live steam.
Oh yes.
Jenny is in her element now.
Yeah. Class 05 says, I had the opposite problem. The younger ones never knew how to use it. And J. Paul Anderson says, hi Jenny, I gifted myself a Bachmann D11 Special Edition MAN and a Lilliput BR62 tank in photographic grey. Oh, I bet that would be
Tom
nice.
McKee says he has to head off, but Happy New Year to everyone. Thank you for coming, Tom, and Happy New Year to you too.
And it's the only show of the year where we get to say, it's like, well, we'll see you next year then. With a tunnel. Oh, this is...
There's a tunnel, there's a lighthouse.
Zoe, I want a live steam in the garden.
Jen, if that's what you want, you can have it.
Well, actually, I've got the O-gauge line. I'll buy SM32. And what I need is we tried the Mamod, it won't handle the grades.
But that is...
I'm really enjoying this. This is really nice.
Those people, they look like... what was the... No, that's going to annoy me now. I want to say Fisher-Price, but it's not. Playmobil.
Yeah. Linda King says, the naturist of Mojácar, Spain, always carried a towel with them. Then one day wandered into a bar, had tracked a bar stool. So I presume it's like some kind of hipster bar where they use those implement seats to make bar stools. And they just rolled the towel up and used that to...
it's a good idea.
Yeah, it really is. Finley Garden says, thanks for sharing my video, Jenny. Hope you enjoyed them. I am only 13 and it's G-scale.
G-scale, I got it right then. Based on what
This
you
is
said
lovely.
earlier. There's so much to it. It's amazing.
And it's the thing about garden railways is you can use nature so well.
Yeah. Mike and Sue say that it's a lovely little line, but it's giving Mike ideas.
I like the one that Wardle Road very kindly invited me to, that ride-on one, the 5-inch gauge. That was absolutely superb. So Wardle Road, if you're still in there, we got to hook up and do that again. I really enjoyed that.
You loved that. You came home planning in your head how to build one of those trains yourself.
East Coast Steam says, take a look at a Roundhouse Bertie for a budget SM32 live steamer. I will definitely take a look at that. Neil Talmuth Clarkson says, my Mammoth Steam Railway set is packed away for winter. And the trouble with winter is you get all the detritus in the garden and it's cold out there. Ryan G says, I want a garden railway now. You and me both. Oh, wait, no, I've already got one, but no, I want more. More! Leslie Gilpin says, excellent layout, Finley. Yeah, definitely. It is really nice. 57305 Northern Princess says, I'm currently trying to get every Doctor Who VHS released, as well as the spin-offs. They were releasing all the Doctor Who on VHS, and in fact, some of the last commercially released Doctor Who releases on VHS were the last things to ever be released on VHS. And that was only because they'd started in the 90s, and then there's a lot of people who'd started their collection on that, and for completism wanted to complete it.
Absolutely. So now we have Skipsy Trains with Watching Trains Go By in December 2020.
Excellent.
It's got a nice little message for us here. As this upcoming Monday night club would be the last one of December, please find us... Yes.
Have you hit play?
I have hit
play. There we go.
Please find attached a link showing us breaking off from working on the layout to just play trains. And that's the important thing, to actually enjoy what you're doing, isn't it?
Definitely. I mean, that at the end of the day, it's what I always say to people with this hobby. If there's something, people say, oh, is it cheating buying ready-made buildings? And I say, look, if there's something you don't enjoy doing in this hobby, the whole point of a hobby is it's fun. So it's all right to use shortcuts to get around something you don't want to do. And I don't like scratch building buildings, so I buy ready-to-plant buildings, or at the very least, get some really nice kits. And it's perfectly acceptable to do that. I do love this viaduct, 4-track viaduct with a junction on it. That is really nice.
We've got a silly little troll in who says, you're gay. So, yes.
You only just noticed. But where have you been?
But the best part is they spelt your as in Y-O-U-R, as in yours. It is your gay. So, my gay what?
Yes, my gay. I believe there's a word missing in that sentence.
Have they got out again? Bring my gay back.
Yeah. Well, the fact that they're in here is a night off for somebody, I guess. Patrick Furlong says, Jenny, the first Doctor Who VHS was released in '83. I can believe that.
My goodness. Yeah. That's early on. This is a lovely layout.
Right. The BBC have done some animations of missing stories, but since the last VHS was released, the entirety of The Enemy of the World was found. Right, I'm with you.
Oh, that's a shame.
I mean, I'm really enjoying this, and also going back to what we were talking about earlier on about the underlay. I see Skipsy Trains has used the cork. I love that junction on there.
It's amazing.
Really, you got a bit of a kink, sir, in your track.
Don't want to talk.
Yeah, I know. I got loads. Yeah, you're in the club, the kinky track. But that's a really nice complex junction there. Oh, I love the power signal box. That was a model from Bachman's Scenecraft, if I remember, and I would have so loved to... That is the model that I wanted for the top of Weir Yard, just here on the hump. And in all honesty with you, I couldn't find one for love nor money, so I left the space blank, and then things got superseded, and Pico very kindly sent the Highland Railway signal box for review, and I gave it the place of honour. But that is the signal box that I so wanted up here for the top of the yard.
Mark Wilson says, I enjoy building layouts, scenery and scratch building, but I don't enjoy running them.
Me too.
Yes.
This is the only time it gets run, really. The building is what I enjoy. Oh, you've got the train, the signals synced in with the trains. Nice.
That's always nice when it
But
adds
yeah,
that little bit extra.
But yeah, I get my enjoyment out of building the layout far more than running it, which is why you'll never see me particularly shunt trains. I don't think I ever really have shunted trains. The layout is built so you could come up here and you can shunt trains. It's all set up to do that. All of the points work. All of the electrics work. But I get no enjoyment out of doing that, so I honestly don't do that.
You can't get no satisfaction.
Yeah, don't forget to tickle that like button, and also there's still plenty of time to share the stream on social media and let everybody know that we are here live and dangerous, the final Monday Club of the year. Mike and Sue Putnam Junction says, my brother's been clearing a load out of his loft. Not sure if he's got them or if they... Oh, sorry, you're answering somebody else, right?
This is a lovely layout with a lot of... Oh, he's got the same issue that you have.
Oh, the camera starts trying
wobble.
to... I think what it is it's...
If you place it on the thing, then the weight of the layout just gives it slight amounts of shake. And unfortunately,
it confuses the stabilization thing.
That's what it is. The stabilizer can't cope with those slight shakes, so you end up with this massive wobble as it tries to compensate.
Also, you've got at the same time the focus trying to focus.
Yeah,
you've got some great space up there. Oh, and look, there's two levels. I'm sure I saw something going around on the underside.
There's a second level.
Yeah, and this is going to be an amazing layout when it's all seen.
There it is, going around on the bottom. That is fantastic.
Yeah, but there's also there's like
so much going on.
I want to see the full layout. I want to see what's behind the camera and what's over to the right as well.
Yeah, Skipsy's saying that he needs a stand for the camera. It won't help on that kind of problem. We've had this in the past where we've tried on Weir Yardney and Bolton Trinity Road back in the day.
Yeah,
we have had so many issues with the fact that you can have it sat perfectly straight on your layout. The moment those trains go past, if there's a slight wobble, it will set off.
Yeah,
especially stabilization. That's the issue.
Modern cameras are too technical for their own good.
They're too eager to help.
Yeah. Right.
But that was a great layout video. I really enjoyed that. Okay.
Oh my word! Patrick Furlong is sending you a surplus Doctor Who tin. He's sending you as soon as I can. Oh wow!
Who's he sending it to?
You.
Oh my goodness, Patrick! You're too generous, man. You're far too generous.
And Slowbird has brought in some rainbows just to offset the troll. Thank you very much.
Paint the whole world with a rainbow. And then get told off.
I like that. Warrington Train Spotter 2778 says, you think if you're going to troll someone, you learn how to spell.
But that sounds like effort.
Yeah.
So now we've got...
I'm sure they do it on purpose.
Of course they do.
It's like, I'm being ironic and edgy.
Yeah. So edgy you might cut yourself.
I like that.
So now we've got one Blairgowie Forest Railway. Shall we start? Are you ready?
Yeah, we're...
Here we go.
So this is Blairgowie Forest Railway. Presents pictures and an exhibition. Oh gosh, remember them.
What have we got coming up? Between Christmas and New Year, December 2020, having very few places to visit and a new camera to try out, the Garden Railway serves as a location to experiment with the camera and some trains.
Oh, now that is a great shot.
That is good.
Oh, yeah.
That is brilliant.
Yeah, the only thing is, you have to stick his head in as it goes along. There's some great shots here, and we found this with my old 00 Garden Railway. We've got some great shots. Oh, a bit of wildlife, I think.
The lighting is really
nothing beats natural light. Really.
Yeah.
Oh, N2. Oh, I had
what
the old
was that?
What?
The red thing on that truck.
It was a crane. It was a breakdown crane.
Nice bit of weathering on those. Oh,
the black and white shot for the period look.
Yes.
Very nice. Oh, is that an 8F? I do like a good 8F. Please, Hornby, please be retooling the 8F. I love an A4 as well, but the A4 doesn't need retooling. It is an amazing model from Hornby, as you'll have seen when I reviewed Miles Beaver. Yeah, and N2, that's another model they could do with retool. Oh, now there's a thought. A fully retooled N2
I'm not
with a
convinced
special
that cat is to scale.
No, a fully retooled N2, including a Hornby 00 box edition. Yeah, you see where I'm coming from here? It's in need of a retool, and oh, that would be such a great tie-in. Are people agreeing with me?
Probably.
No.
A few people are saying they have to go to bed now, so
yeah.
Well, that was lovely. I really enjoyed that.
Yeah, that was great. Loved that. Thank you ever so much.
Thank you, Gary Forest Railway.
A few people drifting off to bed. I know it's a school night for lots of people. And It's Milk says, I'm new. Welcome along to the Monday Club. And everybody's always welcome. Play nice in the chat, of course, because we ruthlessly flame trolls. But it's always nice to have newcomers. Don't forget to tickle the like button. And also consider subscribing to the channel if you've not already done so before. Right.
Okay, we've got one that...
Yeah, actually, J94 is like, and the N2 numbered like the preserved one. Stephen Cameron says, "Dear trolls, we love you. Don't ever change."
Hey, yeah, not all of us do.
Right. Yeah, cats like sitting on model railways. Fred used to like sitting on mine.
She did. She really did.
Right. So this one's from Paul Jessen.
It's a Christmas
Christmas themed. Always love a good Christmas themed.
And he's asked us if you can spot the TARDIS.
Oh, right. So Garthian on standby here, looking out for a TARDIS. Is that it there?
I'm not going to tell you until afterward.
Because you hadn't spotted it.
No, I know where it is.
Do you? What has he told you?
Yeah.
Oh, that's cheating. Is that it there? Oh, lots of Christmassy themed stuff. It's Santa's workshop. Oh, I like that with the.
That is really good.
Yeah. Oh, and there we got it running.
Oh,
3 trains at once. Is that? Yeah,
Look
3.
Look at the detail in the middle. That's lovely.
Excellent. Oh, a caboose, a Christmas themed caboose. Ooh, I like that. This is nice.
Everyone's saying, found it.
You got to tell us where.
I love this. I love that festive scene in the middle.
I like that festive train going around there.
So well done.
I like a good caboose, actually.
I can see the TARDIS.
Yeah, so can I.
No, you can't, because I was pointing at the wrong bit.
Yeah.
You could be pointing at anything.
Yeah, no, it's great. There's actually there's a lot of models from. I've seen Canadian models, look like French models.
Yeah, it's a nice
US
pick and
outline
mix.
models. Is that a big boy? Or are you just pleased to see me? There's some. I'm loving some of these models here.
It's so well done.
Yeah. I always say it's nice to have a fun railway. I love that Christmassy train.
It's just happy.
Big hello
That's what
to
I like about
Midland
it.
Transport fan. Hi to you. Anthony Lee Dickinson. Come on, behave yourself. Says let's see a train crash. Why do people always do that?
Anthony Lee Dickinson, nice to see that you're making those kind of comments here as well as on my live streams. Because on my live streams, he always suggests that we do something dangerous with the Amstrad, such as, maybe it just needs cleaning with soap and water.
Yeah. Like your mouth. Barnabas Junction says, "Rightio, time for me to shoot off now. Ready to start my radio show from 9 p.m. Thanks, Zoe and Jenny, for a great final Monday Club of 2020. Wishing everyone a happy new year. All the best for 2021. And Barnabas, you have yourself a great radio show as well. So, brilliant. And thanks for joining us. Always great for people joining us from around the world, actually. We've got somebody says hello from Australia, but their username appears to be either their username is hello from Australia or their username is a blank space. Alaska Railroad says, "Hello, I'm a locomotive engineer on the Alaska Railroad. I love trains." Excellent. Rachel Houston
higher
says,
resolution
Happy
footage
New
of
Year.
that. Looks
Oh, that is nice.
So there's actually a snow globe in the middle.
Oh, right. Oh, we're just...
That is lovely, and I can still see the TARDIS.
Anthony Lee Dickinson says, love banter. oh, Garthian says, TARDIS in the middle of the car park market area.
He's very good.
He is. He's got TARDIS vision for
He
spotting
does.
these things. I like that Christmas themed train. I really do like
there
it.
is the TARDIS.
Mm.
And he was right in the correct place.
Right, should we move on to the next video?
Certainly can.
Thank you very much for sending that in.
That
really
was
enjoyed
It
that.
was really good.
Mm. Right.
So,
East Coast Steve says, I'd recommend... Oh, right, talking about live stream mods. Recommend a Katie. Stain boiler and running gear, as Billy would also recommend fitting the DJB whistle if you can. The Orchard line says, oh, very naughty to my wallet. Needs to cough up 1,350 for remote controllers. The line isn't very flat. Oh my word! It's going to be expensive for live stream.
That's a bit on the pricey side.
I keep trying to persuade my father to build a live steam 5-inch gauge standard class 4 tank as his next project, and I can drive it on a railway somewhere. It's all right, Dad. I'll show you how it works. Ooh!
So next up we have
Bachman Green. Oh, this is different.
yes, it's Tim Condrup with a test run of the Bachman Green Thomas LBCS.
This is interesting. Is this a repaint or an official prod?
LBSC even, sorry.
Yeah, London, Brighton and South Coast Railway. But is this actually an official product or is this a repaint? Does he say in the description?
It does not say in the description.
Dean Fielding says, Happy New Year to you all. Thanks for your company this year. And you guys, thank you very much for your company as well.
If that's a repaint, it's very, very
It is
carefully
very
done.
well done. The lining is very, very sharp.
Yeah.
I
kind of like it.
Oh, God, my God. Garthian says, I spent £4,500 on my 16mm K1 loco. Well worth it, though.
If you enjoy something, then it is.
Yeah, definitely. I don't think I've spent that much on a car, to be honest with you.
No, yes, you have.
Oh yeah, no, the
Hubert.
Hubert, £7,000 is the yeah, but no, like my Volvo didn't cost that. What?
There's the
Oh,
new
the
one.
comparison.
And boink, there's the Thomas as well. Wow, it must be a repaint.
Right.
Slowbird says, I might buy one and remove the face. Say it in that demonic voice there.
Yes.
Will you be wanting anaesthetic?
Yeah, so we give you the full faceectomy.
I still say Thomas the TIE Fighter was great. Sing, choo choo, rebel scum. J94 says that is an official model.
Is it really? Where do we get it from?
It's because the show was celebrating an anniversary of Thomas and Friends.
What, the 70th anniversary?
I'm gonna expect it was the 70th anniversary, yes.
Right, so if you find that's the Thomas that I like. That one isn't. I don't like that. Never liked Thomas. I thought he had a bit of an ego problem going on. But that London, Brighton and South Coast one, which of course is the LBSC E2, is what Thomas was based on. But look it up. I need one. I need one.
Okay, is he... he said he's going to do a test run of this on the video, so...
Henry Transport Adventures and
Oh
Beyond
my
says,
goodness.
wow, more car stuff. Jenny has said the word car 3 times more than model
Out
trains.
of stock.
Where from?
From a site called Totally Thomas, 70 quid, US import, out of stock.
Oh.
That's a shame.
When was the 70th anniversary? And why did nobody tell me that this was available?
Don't know.
I'm liking it. I really do like it. It's a different take on the Thomas the Tank Engine thing, and I approve
Well,
of
the
it.
75th anniversary was last year.
So actually, that's a few years old.
Yeah. But it is an interesting one, because you love green, so of
Yeah.
course that works for you.
Check the eBay. That's so see what. I'm sure there'll be a gouger
I'll
on
check
eBay.
eBygum, yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure there'll be a
It
gouger on
runs
there.
very smoothly though. Give it that.
Yeah, until it stops on the point. She's like the Murray Walker of trains. Oh, the other Thomas is going to give it a push.
Is it?
Or not. I mean, this is quite an impressive Thomas the Tank Engine collection. That, oh, hey look, they're nearly perfectly matched on speed.
Oh, I like the lining on the wheels as well. Just give it that little bit of an edge.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, there's always a lovely locomotive collection here.
Okay, they are available on eBay.
Tell me the bad news.
Well, it depends which one you want. Would you like a Trackmaster battery-powered one that just kind of runs anywhere?
No.
Or would you like the Bachmann one, which is a fair amount of
Yes.
money, like 80 or 90 quid?
Oh, so they're not depreciated, you know?
No, they're
Right.
limited.
Are they? Well, it looks really nice, actually. I
It
do
really
like that.
does.
Maybe they'll do another one for the 75th or whatever.
75th was last year. So if you wait a few more years, it'll be the 80th.
Yeah, they should bring one out every year.
Oh my goodness, can you imagine an 80th anniversary? With the new technology that we've got?
Yeah, I mean they
Run even better?
could have a bolt-on Zimmer frame on the front and everything.
That was so funny.
Right. Yeah, Henry's Transport Adventures and Beyond confirms the 75th was this year. J94 says, believe it or not, it wasn't Thomas that got me into trains. It wasn't Thomas that got me into trains either, but I am of an age where it was actually my father got me into trains. He just wanted an excuse to play with his train set again. But I did very quickly get into Thomas the Tank Engine. The Orchard line... oh, so you're replying to somebody else's
Can
comment.
you jump on?
Oh, yeah, sorry. Roger Wolstenholme says Flying Scotsman's chimney was a plant pot until they bought it for the loco. It was from Salmon Trout.
Okay.
Big hello to Tracy Harris. Also, Alaska Railroad loves their job and has 2 layouts, a total of 21 locomotives on them all.
Very nice.
The Orchard line, Jenny wanted a live steam loco, a roundhouse double fairly goes for 4,500. So if you so if you want to chip it, no.
Jen, I'm going to put my foot down.
No, so the foot is going down. No.
You are going to love this one.
Ooh.
From Model Railway Noob, a child's underbed layout for Christmas.
Oh, right, yeah.
This looks brilliant.
Okay, are we ready?
Ready when you are. So I've got a bit of a text that came with this. It's 5 foot by 3 foot, underbed stored layout on 6 wheels. Limited to a height of 22 centimetres.
Oh.
And 8 switches control the various lights and sound modules.
Well, that is very nicely done. I like this camera angle. It's like what we had with our thing.
Yeah.
I like the lights in the building. It does add a lot, and there's a lot of space for cars. One thing, excuse me, I've learned is that younger children like playing with the cars as well.
Yes.
Oh, it's the Oxford Rail N7, but in Great Eastern Railway grey. I've got one of them. Oh, I like your street furniture, and you've got your Belisha
so good.
beacons.
For the amount of space that they had as a restriction on it, that is amazing.
Yeah. Oh, the Mackie D's. Oh, and the photographic grey DJ models 1366. Oh, choir service. Nice. I like the
Oh, that is brilliant.
There's a lot going on this. This has got a lot going on.
Yo.
Working. Whoa.
A nice tram.
Oh, it's the Bachmann drill
Choo-choo.
trolley or something like that. Oh, nice water.
There's so much on this for
Yeah.
its size.
Yeah.
Oh, you'll love this as well.
Uh-huh.
My child guessed that I had made this for him, but was very impressed that I had negotiated with Santa to deliver it. But he couldn't work out how Santa got it installed under his bed without knowing about it. Well, Santa's magic. That's how it did it.
Yeah. This is actually really, really nice. As a kid, I would have loved something like this rocking up.
Yeah. Apparently, along with the 8 switches for the lights and sound, there are further 5 switches for the points and 2 switches for signals. He says it was also important to include roads and a bus depot for the kid.
Yeah, definitely. Totally agree with
Which
that.
suggests to me that actually I've included some roads and a bus depot for the kid. The train bits for me.
Whilst Daddy shows little Jimmy how it works. So it's all right. It's all right. You play with the car, so I'll show you how this works.
Ryan G says, "Is that a San Francisco cable car?" It could be.
I'm sure. I vaguely remember them
those
being
lights.
sold on offer through Hattons. Were selling them probably about 20 years ago.
Everyone's saying this is a great little layout, and it
Yeah.
really is.
I mean, as a kid, I would have worshipped you as a kid. Like, for me, oh, there's so much going on, and it just feels so intricate and interesting. But at the same time, you can see it's robust enough to handle some degree of child-related operation.
Yeah. It's really, really.
Oh, do those traffic lights? Yes, it does, and it does the correct sequence. The red and amber come on, and then the green. Quite often you find with some of the cheaper kits, they just cycle red, then yellow, then green, then yellow, then red. But that's got the correct sequence. I am impressed.
Those lights, that looks amazing.
Ryan G says, I have one just bought from eBay. I'm wondering if that's the
so
Thomas in LBSC green.
Quite possibly. That was so good.
I like that. That is actually a great idea for anybody thinking about something to hide under their kid's bed so that they can play trains. Do we have many more videos?
We have a couple.
Radio. Tim Condrup says, I love Thomas the Tank Engine. I watched Thomas the Tank Engine when I was 2 years old and I'm 27 years old now.
In fact, no, we don't have any more videos. We just have photos from now. Okay.
If you want to queue up the photos, we'll go through those. Yeah, I think I was probably... I was maybe 3, maybe 4 years old when Thomas the Tank Engine first came on the TV. And I remember it well. They Ooh!
Yeah, I think you're going to like this.
That is one of the... I'm gonna say, right, I'm gonna put this up on the screen so people can see this. This is the Dutch. It's either the Dutch version of the Class 8 or the Victoria Railways in Australia version.
Zoom in a little bit for the image.
Yeah, does it say... That is very interesting.
This is from Ryan Gray. Says this is for Zoe, a Dutch Gronk at the Spoorweg Museum, the Dutch NRM in Utrecht.
That is, it's like dazzle camouflage.
Yeah,
that is actually
it's painted in the style of Delft pottery, and it's amazing.
That is good. I like that.
So good. And he says, if you're ever in the Netherlands, I highly recommend a trip to the museum.
Yeah, definitely. In fact, actually, that is one which I know it's not strictly exactly the same, but what if Hornby released their Class 8 with that livery?
Oh my goodness, yeah. That is so nice.
I mean, that is quite intricate. It'd be interesting to see if they could actually achieve that.
Yeah, everyone else is saying, wow, that's a psychedelic loco.
It's hard on the eye, isn't it? You can't quite focus on it.
Ben Tullett has the thing you just said. Someone make a model of that Gronk.
Quick, get me 10 cc's of Gronk and stat.
I would be amazed to see that. Apparently, according to East Coast Steam, there's a matching wagon as well.
Oh,
that would be so cool.
Have we got? Are there more photos?
No, that is the only one for that. There are other photos, but not for this.
Right, that is very impressive.
You jumped off that?
Yeah, I've jumped off that.
Cool. Right, I will go back now. So thank you, Ryan Gray, for sending that.
Thank you very much. I like that. Yeah, I'm gonna. If it's all right, can I send that photograph to Simon Kohler with a little hint saying, "Have you thought about this livery for a Class 8 shunter?"
Okay, our final photos are photos of a 158.
Ham Shackleton's shared the link of the woman tied to the railway track. The video, I'm assuming that's from the silent film. Yeah. East Coast Steam says, I'll go and dig out the photo. A Southern Train girl, hate to look at that loco when you were drunk. I think that would be a bit hard on the eye. Right, I'm going to go back to what we've got is Class 158.
Yes, this is from Henry's Transport. It's a Class 158 for the Monday Club.
And it's nicely framed. That's actually, from a technical point of view, that is a really well taken photograph.
Yeah, it's exactly what you want to see. So where exactly are we looking here? Welcome to Wick.
Oh, right, we're right up in the north.
Yeah. Let's have a quick zoom in. Bling. That is... I was going to say that looks really realistic. No, this is an actual thing.
Yeah, yeah. Are there more pictures?
One final one.
Excellent.
So yeah.
I've never seen Wick Station before. I shall be on Google Earth having a look at a bit. Have you noticed?
And she says that, but she actually will be. Yeah.
I will actually in bed. Have you noticed it's gone a bit chilly? Even normally up in the Monday Club, it gets incredibly hot up there.
I'd normally be sweltering by this point, but I'm not.
And I'm going to have to go hunting for this ever so slight cooling breeze from under here, so I can't. It's not strong enough for me to be able to work out where it's coming from, but I'm aware of. I think it's actually coming through the extractor fan tube.
You're gonna love this. Class 05 says, no, that's the most realistic you can get.
And also, Flyman Chairman 1, thank you ever so much for sharing Jenny and Zoe's website. That's the All Mouse Media website. And you can buy, of course, my books through there. But also, don't forget, you can check out some of the merch down below on Teespring if you want your own Gronk It Up hoodie or t-shirt, or indeed the Terrier Fest one that we did as well.
So while we've been on air, we've had a couple more things.
Oh, it always happens.
So Chris has said that he's tried to send a photo of his Gronk t-shirt and it hasn't come through. We'll have a look and see what's happened. Sorry about that, we just didn't get it. What's this? Logan Clary says Happy New Year.
Oh! Right, well, is that...
Yes, jump over. Thank you so much for sending this.
Oh, Santa's just delivered the goods.
Yeah, he certainly has.
Oh, that is... Oh, I got it. It's a bountiful load. And you know what? She's doesn't... There is no trumpet with a wah-wah in. That is all her. You do an invisible clown horn as well.
I do. Have you put me on screen? Is that what you're doing?
No. Just do it again.
Do you want the other thing as well? It's all about the hand movements to try and change the sound envelope.
It's always about that hand action.
It is. It's to change the sound envelope. So that was a lovely picture. Thank you so much for the new year there, Logan Clary. That was really good.
Yeah. Simon Train's Model Railway Showcase says, "Gronk it up."
Gronk it up, baby!
And Stephen Cameron says Wick or Thurso stations would make a lovely layout. I think they would actually, yeah.
Simon Train says that was a brilliant thing there, yep. And Mike and Sue say all trains cancelled due to chocolate on the line. Someone please come and lick it off.
Oh. The Orchard Line says, everyone, thank you so much for being here in these tough times for people to talk to about the things I love. You're absolutely welcome. And it's one of the things that I've said this from the start. The Monday Club is about a community. It's somewhere safe where people can chat to other like-minded people and we can indulge in our hobby, and never more so important than this year with the lack of exhibitions, with model rail clubs shut down. And also a lot of people as well, we mustn't forget, haven't been able to even visit family, let alone friends. I know that the only times we've seen Les is on the doorstep from a safe distance when he's dropped something off. Yeah. And that's not really a great way to keep up with friends. I mean, we've got like Claire and James, really good friends of ours, and we've basically not seen them for since March sort of time. It's
been so hard, hasn't it?
Yeah, and I know that a lot of people are struggling mentally with this, and it's what we kind of set out to do.
It's not easy on any of us. It really isn't.
Very much, and it's something we did set out to do with the Monday Club, is kind of provide a venue where people can feel, a part of a community and get that very important human interaction. But we've been through the videos. We're 9:15 now, so it's time now to signal the end of this week's Monday Club.
There is one more.
Oh, is people still sending them in?
Ryan has sent in an extra photo of the Dutch Gronk.
Oh, Gronk.
So Gronk it up.
Oh, is that with the matching wagon? Or?
Yes, it looks like it is. And he says, yes, you can share it with Simon.
Okay.
Have a look at that.
I will send that to Simon Kohler, because I think that as a very eye-catching model.
I'll try and zoom in a little bit more, because it's a really high. Look at the shape of those.
Oh,
The curves.
They're actually shunters. They're locomotives behind it. Shunter
Yeah, but look
locos.
at the shape of them. Is that to keep the sun off, do you think?
You know, I think it might be.
That is so good.
Yeah. Really liking that. Well, thank you very much for sharing that
Yeah.
picture with us. So I'm just going to change the picture and...
I'm pressing the wrong buttons there. So what else have we got? Everyone's saying good night now.
yeah, Wiven Rail Model Railway, night night to you. We've got a lot of people going Gronk, Gronk.
Ronald Moritz says about the photo of the chalky train. Quick lads, get some chalks under that train. It's rolling away.
J. Paul Anderson says, evening ladies and happy new year everyone. Cheers from Joaquin. And Moreland Model Railway, Andy. Bye Jenny, Zoe and everyone, all the best and see you in the new year. And that's it, we're going to be back in the new year next Monday. We're back as usual, but of course that's next year, 2021. We're going to say goodbye to 2020. And I know that the MRYCG podcast is on this Friday, so I think it's Friday, seeing in the new year, or is it Thursday? Could be Thursday, could be Friday. But certainly, I think a lot of people will be glad to see the back of 2020. So here's to 2021. We've got the vaccine rolling out, so hopefully we'll be getting back to normal. And I am really, really looking forward to getting out to exhibitions again. But
we just have one more question.
Okay.
Garthian would like to know, how many Pullmans do you have, Jenny?
Do I have?
Yeah.
I have got 8 of the 8-wheel Pullmans. I've also got a Pullman observation car. I've got 2 of the 12-wheel Pullmans. And I've also got 2 of the Bachmann Metro Camel Pullmans. So that gives us 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Unlucky for some.
There you go. So thank you very much for coming along. It has been a great year for the channel in terms of getting people onto the Monday Club and talking to you all and
I'm
trying
really
to keep
missing
the community together.
Yeah.
But it's been such a hard year
Yeah.
personally, hasn't it? Because we haven't had the chat. You love to have people come in.
Yeah, I was going to say, I've been really missing having guests on. So we're going to have, hopefully, as soon as we're able to and everything's safe to, we're going to try and get guests back on.
Yeah.
It's kind of how you've become part of my double act is that you've rocked up because there wasn't anybody else. You're basically the B team.
Pretty much.
Yeah, but look, anyway, you all take great care of yourself and look, don't party too hard, but do party some, and stay safe, and we'll see you back here next Monday. And of course, don't forget the next Tuesday we're going to be covering the Hornby announcements as they happen. But until then, keep your eye on the Christmas sales. Hopefully there'll be plenty of universal gift tokens, aka cool hard cash, to buy various nice bits and pieces. We've also got regular videos are going to keep on coming through. We have really been red hot bottom kicking maximum pace this year. Look out for that. Holden B12 is going to be reviewed for Wednesday's video. Friday's video, we've actually got a full look at the all new DCC Concepts Stay Alive capacitor system. I filmed a full video on those, and I will show you the full XP on that on Friday's video. And then next Monday, we've got a video on the restaurant cars that have come through just in 2020 from Hornby, and there's just so much content actually. Unbelievable. What
Garthian says, have a great new year, don't do anything stupid. I'm sorry, Garthian, but if I didn't do anything stupid, I would never do anything at all. I'd never get out of bed.
Yeah, I live with her. I can attest to that. But look, anyway.
Quick, smell this pig. That kind of thing.
Yeah, look, anyway, look, you guys, you take care. And this is me and Zoe saying bye for now.
Bye.